And hello, everybody. How the heck are ya? Oh, I realized that needs to switch one spot over to here. How are you, everybody? Welcome to the Mega Draft Bracket 5. We did a bunch of these earlier in the year, and now we are back. Thank you to our tremendous sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends, who's making this possible. We're going to be doing a great Mega Draft Bracket with 4 phenomenal pro players. Pedro, our number 2 player from World Finals this year. Lucas, the 3-time World Finalist. Samuel Bassotto, who's coming off yet another World Finals appearance. And Sandbox, another multiple-time World Finalist. All 4 of these guys playing Mega Draft. We'll be playing best of 3s in the first round, and then BO5s in the second round. And then after this Mega Draft tournament, this little mini bracket is over, stick around because we're going to be playing some Raid Shadow Legends here on stream. They're a phenomenal sponsor, very happy to have them. And of course, you can use this QR code right here to download the game and play along with me a little bit later today. But first, we've got some great Clash Royale, and when we have Mega Draft, everybody knows it. There's only one guy who should be joining me here for Mega Draft. Longtime, goated coach, and there you are, Jules. What's happening, brother? Very happy to have you on here, and I know that you are excited as I am to be casting some Mega Draft today.
Yeah, thank you very much, Rich. 1 year later, we're back again with our Mega Draft series, so thank you everyone who's still sticking around, and I'm glad to cast some lovely Mega Draft today.
And hopefully we're going to be doing a whole lot more of these, more on that in the future. So a couple of things about today's Mega Draft, and one of the big changes is, over time they've adjusted how you do the drafting. Do you get who gets the last pick versus who gets the first pick? How many times do you pick in a row? We kind of settled on a formula now, and Jules, we talked about this beforehand. Today we're going to do something a little different, where in the past the loser got to pick first next, but today we're switching that up a little bit.
Yeah. So today we're going to be doing the loser decides whether they want to pick second or first, and then because I've seen, as I've played a lot of Mega Draft recently, is that some people prefer to go first and prefer to go second based on how they like to pick. So the person who loses has the option to pick in their favorite order.
Yeah, it's a huge one. And our first matchup, let's take a look at the bracket here. First matchup is going to be Pedro versus Lucas. Pedro will start off picking first in this one, and then after that, the loser can pick if they go first or second based on their own preferences. This will be a whole lot of fun. And now I do want to also, and Jules, if you can remind our players as well, we're banning Pump. Pump has no place in Mega Draft. I am advocating for Pump to be removed from Mega Draft from the pool overall, but we're going to go ahead and just say no Pump allowed in our own version, just because, Jules, when Pump very specifically is useless half the time, but when it isn't, it's game-breaking, I think, for the game mode.
Yeah, exactly. I find Mega Draft to be one of the most balanced game modes in Clash Royale, but Pump can result in some unbalanced draft because sometimes there is no answers such as EQ, Poison, or Lightning to Pump.
So we're going to go ahead and get our first match kicked off here in a moment. Again, BO3s here to start things off, and then we're going to go ahead and do BO5s for our Grand Championship. And like I said, this is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. If you want to go ahead and hit the QR code, there's also a download link in the chat. Go ahead and do it. Love to have you join me after this Clash Royale stream is over for the second half of the stream where we play some Raid. It's going to be a very, very good time. Smurfblade saying IMO first pick is better if you can quickly figure out the most polarizing card on the board, but otherwise having last pick can surprise opponents. I agree. And Jules, let's look at our board. Log the first pick here. Your thoughts on Log versus Poison as a first pick?
I think Log looks good here as there's Princess, Spear Goblins, and Dark Dawn on the board, but I think Poison is overall the more solid pick. So whoever doesn't have Poison here is going to really struggle to deal with Sappies.
Okay, here we go. Archer Queen. Notice no little prince on the board for this one. And Poison picked by Lucas. Let's see if Pedro's going that direction. It is, as you said, the only big spell. He does go Bomb Tower, so does Lucas see what we're seeing?
Yeah, so it looks like a good start to the draft for Lucas. He's grabbed Poison, so Queen's going to be really hard to kill. And there's no Fisherman and no Mega Knight to counter the Queen, so Queen's a very nice pick from Lucas.
And Valk here, and when you look at the board, Valk will help cover pigs as Lucas doesn't have bomb tower. Not a perfect counter, but definitely helps mitigate the damage, especially when you look at this this board, Jules. Other than maybe picking up a cannon, which would leave Pedro a nice earthquake pick, there's not a lot of great counters to pigs out here.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of beatdown win conditions on the board. We've got Giant, Royal Giant, Ram Rider, E-Giant, and Goblin Giant there.
And Crafter in the chat saying, what does Cal mean? That's the abbreviation for Shot Kalalis, the esports org that has picked up pretty much all the top players in the game.
Yeah. Polarization.
And Snowball. So really, Lucas is trying to hedge against pigs dramatically here.
Yeah.
And Pedro might be switching up, and could he go Ram Rider, maybe even Royal Giant at this point?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a drill deck. Looks like drill would fit great with this kind of cycle. But yeah, Lucas is in a great position because if he goes with Cage here, then Pedro doesn't really have any kind of response to it because EQ doesn't really do much against Cage, and Cage is great against E-Giant, Goblin Giant, and Ram Rider.
So Lucas going Graveyard, and Pedro does have EQ plus Dark Goblin, goes Goblin Giant. Fascinating. No real great single target, no phenomenal single target DPS. You have the Cannon Cart, you have the Archer Queen. And Pedro can't really get to either of them in a
Even the E-Bobs from Lucas here. Yep, there we go.
And that's why Jules is here for this Mega Draft competition. Let's go.
Well, yeah, so E-Bobs is a strong pick there because they're both going to melt through the Giant Skeleton and the Goblin Giant, and Pedro only has EQ, so he's unable to deal with those on offense.
All right, so here we go. Giant Skeleton to begin. And Cannon Cart will go ahead and meet that on the left-hand side. Dark Goblin behind. What is Pedro going to do about these Archer Queens? Is it mostly trying to engage with them on his side of the board?
Yeah, well, I mean, Giant Skelly is one of the best responses in the game to Archer Queen, so saving his Giant Skelly for the Archer Queen is going to be key.
I was a little surprised to see him cycle it, opening up, and then Lucas going in the same lane.
Yeah. And he also has Mighty Miner, which is a great answer to Archer Queen too. So yeah, great reactive drafting by Pedro, seeing he didn't have a big spell to take the Archer Queen off the board and then take him to his deck.
So it's again Pedro opening with the Giant Skeleton. Lucas once again chooses to meet it in the same lane. 90 seconds away. So far, a little bit of chip. How impactful do you see Dark Goblin being for Pedro?
I think Dark Goblin's going to be really especially with the 3-card cycle with the Mighty Miner. Pedro is going to be able to cycle lots of Dark Goblins, and Lucas won't be able to keep up with the poisons. So I think Dark Goblin is going to be the winning Pedro's deck, is how he's going to break through.
And I hear everybody, I am lowering the gameplay audio a bit. Let me know if that balance has hit its spot. And both guys playing this very, very slowly. And with Goblin Giant, we're so used to Goblin Giant being so aggressive because of the nature of Goblin Giant decks. And now Goblin Giant being played more like a beatdown deck, given the weird, funky stuff we have going on.
And Pedro can do a really good job opening up the lane. That's why he's able to play so slowly, because it's really hard to break through a bomb tower, Giant Skeleton, and Mighty Miner combo. So opening up the lane and playing it slow.
Alright, keep it coming, folks. I want to make sure I have gameplay audio. It is a little bit challenging to balance. And here we go. Goblin Giant, right-hand lane, Mighty Miner in front, Dark Goblin protected by the Skeleton. I made another adjustment first, so we know that game sounds still bad. I can barely even hear the game sound. That's really interesting. I need to check it just to get off my lines.
Look at the value of this Dark Goblin Skeleton.
E-Barb's in deep. Giant Skeleton does save them last second. 23-35 to 28-05. Still, I mean, I have Drew's turn. My voice is nice and loud. Discord's audio mixer is actually kind of garbage, is the best way to put it. I mean, not Discord, OBS. I guess that's what you get when you have free broadcasting stuff. People are saying I sound like up the sound. I literally turned the sound almost all the way. Gameplay audio is almost all the way. This is insane. Hold on, folks. I'm doing my best to solve these problems. I now at a point where I can't even hear the game audio. I've turned it down so low. And this is the fun part of computers. Let me try looking at something else here in 1 second.
Yeah, so Pedro is playing this really well. He's keeping up the pressure so that Lucas isn't able to graveyard and get any poisons down. It's a hard matchup for Pedro because his EQ is almost useless, so it's really hard. But he's keeping up the pressure, allowing him to log in the cycle. So Pedro's playing this well.
Oh my god, that's what's happening. Alright folks, that should have solved the game sound problem. There was a hidden audio slider of the game sound, is the best way to put it. There was a hidden audio slider that I didn't see of the game sound, which should be better now, folks. And that was game number 1. With a nice win there for Lucas, and I'll continue working on that sound situation. Okay, so Pedro, with the loss here in game number 1, is he opting to go first or second in our second game?
Let's see.
And L on sound. Don't worry, folks. We will get the sound all sorted out. Back-to-back monthly finals winner. Okay. That's actually, that's a good point there, Lucas.
Says, without a coach, you guys can't forget that, without a coach. And he's still without a coach today. No one else does it quite like Lucas.
That's true. All right, so Pedro has opted, yeah.
Pedro's picked to pick first. So he's going to maybe look to try and get a big spell off the board or get Little Prince or even Minor, knowing Pedro.
And let me go ahead and send out our overlay, and we should be all fixed. And let's go ahead and pray that the sound is better. Oh. There we go. Now we're into our draft.
We're in. Yeah. Okay, so Pedro opting to pick first, and then his first pick is Ice Spirit. That is a one-trick pick if I've ever seen one.
All right, let me know, folks. Do we have game sound now? Is it at a good level? Or is it way too loud? Perfect. Everyone's saying perfect. Oh, brilliant.
Amazing. Life is good.
Life is good.
So yeah, an interesting pick by Pedro to go with Ice Spirit first. I think he might be clearly going for a minor deck. But there isn't many cycle decks on the board. So I'm not sure what he's going for yet, but maybe I just don't see the vision.
Maybe Loon here. We have seen some weird versions of minor Loon with the Fisherman, but that's also usually with recruits, so
yeah.
Very
funky.
funky.
And he doesn't have any spells, so he can't get any of the air cards off the board.
Does he have to take this rocket?
Maybe, yeah. I've seen Pedro play Minor Rocket a lot before. But I mean, I guess he can also go Mega Knight Zap is also an option.
And Lucas taking the Archer Queen, obviously there's, without the rocket, no way for Pedro to get it off the board. But also, you know, look at some other cards that are really abusable at that point. You already mentioned, of course, we talked about the balloon. But Magic Archer, despite being nerfed, is also in a really good position here with no good spells to take it off the board for Pedro.
Yeah. Oh, I would say for Lucas, Tombstone is a really, really strong pick here because Pedro has no spells that can deal with the Tombstone or the skeletons. It's going to really be a nuisance against Pedro.
And interesting. This really has to be going either towards Loon or Minor Rocket, but the Rage really makes you feel like it's going towards the Loon at this point.
Yeah, I agree. And Lucas is going to have to stack up on some more air cards if he wants to cover Balloon. Magic Archer. I guess if I was Lucas, I would go over Tombstone here, and then a win condition. Ooh, Graveyard is a great pick.
That is phenomenal. Now Pedro kind of in a tough spot where he has to pick something for Graveyard, but looking at the board here, there's really nothing for the Graveyard. Yeah. And he goes Mega Knight. Wow.
Now Lucas could even go P.E.K.K.A. This is why picking second is often an advantage, because that last pick can be super influential and Pedro can't do anything about it. Does he go over P.E.K.K.A.? Yes, he does. And P.E.K.K.A's can be really good because there isn't any swarm units at all on Pedro's side, and obviously P.E.K.K.A is the perfect counter to the Mega Knight.
So here we go. This is Pedro going to be in kind of a funky position trying to come back from a tough draft. And, you know, we saw Pedro make a great, brilliant, deep run at World Finals. But if there is one, you know, kind of one knock on Pedro that I would put is that he kind of has a very specific deck pool. Almost like, you know, people compare him to Mo a lot, including Mo himself. But I would almost more compare like Pedro to Ruben in his best era, where Ruben was really, really phenomenal, but kind of stuck with a limited range of options.
Yeah.
And I think we're sort of seeing maybe some of that challenge here arise in how Pedro drafts.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like I said, the Ice Spirit first pick was a very clear indication of his preferences when it comes to the meta.
Well, especially when there's two spirits on the board.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Oh, and Lucas almost gets the King Tower activation, but the Archer Queen betrays him. Pedro with a nice little combo to chain the Electro Spear all the way in. And does the P.E.K.K.A get in front of the Archer Queen? Won't matter because she's going to go invisible here. Mega Knight, though, will still take her off just because of some slightly off sequencing by Lucas. And in a kind of a shocking turn of events, at the moment it's Pedro way ahead. And as he pulls the P.E.K.K.A back, Lucas is in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, Lucas completely forgetting that Pedro had Bar Barrel. And allowing the Bar Barrel to finish off the P.E.K.K.A and get a whole gang worth of value. That's a big mistake from Lucas. So Lucas clearly has the matchup advantage. Pedro has no way to kill Queen. Doesn't have a good way to deal with a defensive Goblin Gang or a Night Witch. But I think that Pedro's deck has a lot more outplay. With the Mighty Miner, the Magic Archer, and the Fisherman, I think those cards can easily turn the tide of a game.
And now Lucas has to be really careful because Pedro can kind of take some big moments here with the Magic Archer. This P.E.K.K.A up front, he does go with the Goblin Gang, and interesting placement of the Magic Archer by Pedro here, but it's also because he knows Lucas can't really get to it, and it can stand there in the middle and do a whole lot of defensive work. Wow. Oh, my word. Wow. Oh, my word. What in the world? Pedro listening to us and just going, dude, what are you even thinking right now? Who do you think you're talking to? And Lucas trying to pull out all the stops here. Can't do it. And that's going to be all tied up through 2. And now it'll be Lucas's turn to pick who goes first in our third and final game.
Yeah, that was exactly the outplay that we were talking about with the Mighty Miner. Just a great switch and a great read by Pedro putting on the pressure. I think Lucas relaxed a bit after seeing the matchup that he got, forgetting that he's playing against maybe the best cycle player in the world. So.
And I'm going to go ahead and throw up the replay of that final moment for y'all to watch here. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. So here we go. The Mighty Miner down the left-hand lane and the Mega Knight going down the right-hand side. And you see the Fisherman pulling to the middle, Ice Spirit right behind. And this play here where the Mighty Miner goes deep and then the P.E.K.K.A goes up high. And this Mighty Miner gets on tower. P.E.K.K.A comes down, spending 7 on a Mighty Miner. Well, take a look at that. Switch lanes, GG, well played. And hearing that Lucas is opting to go second one more time, so maybe thinking kind of in the same line as you here, Jules, that that second pick is the best pick.
Yeah, well, yeah, I definitely agree. But yeah, that Mighty Miner lane switch by Pedro was amazing. He was counting Elixir and knew exactly the exact moment when Lucas was going to put that P.E.K.K.A down. So incredible Elixir counting by Pedro.
Yeah, this is just, perfect timing. P.E.K.K.A can't get a swing. You see it one more time. And this gang is just not there fast enough. Not going to happen. And there we go. GG, well played. Almost ready for our second matchup, but we still have one more game to go in this one. And while we're waiting for that game to get started, again, link in the chat now. But big thanks to our sponsor for this stream. All of these Mega Draft streams do end up with phenomenal sponsors, and Raid Shadow Legends put into the money so that we have our $100 prize pool for our players. $100 overall. It's usually get an 80-20 split. We'll see how the players choose. If they, I used to offer $100 just to the winner, make it winner take all, but 80-20 makes it so it's a little better time, little better time for you at the end if you went too far. And that's interesting. I didn't know. Oh, did YouTube run an ad while I was at the end of the game? That's a big L. I will go ahead and change that. I had it on them with the recommended ads, but I'm going to go ahead and fix that so they don't. So that it's me. I am now switching to choose how ads appear, so that they no longer do that. That was an automatic setting from YouTube, and it's now been turned off. Sorry, folks.
Okay, so Lucas going with Minor Poison instantly, deciding that Pedro is too dangerous with Minor Poison, not wanting to deal with any of that nonsense. He takes it off the board. And he didn't like Pedro's Mighty Miner outplay last game, so he's making sure that doesn't happen again either. And yeah, it looks like Pedro misclicked. Accidentally took log and bar barrel, but he might have said oops on purpose, pretending it was a mistake, and he's actually going to go for a goblin barrel bait deck, because Lucas is really going to struggle to deal with the goblin barrel here without bar barrel or log on the board anymore.
Well, you now can really go ahead and go full bait here. Do you think he's going to go with just goblin barrel or goblin barrel plus a second bait troop like the skeleton barrel or the wall breakers?
Yeah, I definitely think he'll go with that. Pedro likes these kind of decks. I can see Lucas going with Skelly Drags. I think Skelly Drags are really solid here with no big spell available for Pedro apart from Rocket and EQ. Yep, called it rich. There's the wall breakers.
Okay, so this is the big weird Mega Draft question, right? Because at the moment Lucas has nothing. He has to pick maybe a Valk at best to try to control here. I know he has some quick cycle. Do you, if you're Lucas, do a troll pick here to take, and I guess you can't do it anymore. I was going to say, do you troll pick the goblin barrel just so he doesn't have it?
Yeah, I mean, it could be a play, but maybe Lucas has confidence in his own skills, because I can see he took the Fire Spirit plus Skelly's combo here, and you know that comboing those together, you can completely counter a goblin barrel by pushing the Fire Spirit. So maybe he's going for that. We'll see.
Oh, wait, and let me go ahead and adjust the, I just realized that I have the crowns wrong. Let me go ahead.
Yeah, and sorry.
Oh, no, go for it.
He's taken the Valk too, so as long as Lucas stays on top of his game and defends very reactively and cleanly, he can definitely counter these goblin barrels. I mean, I think when Pedro said oops, I think he was I think that was just strategy. I think he actually meant to take the log and bar barrel.
And that's one thing I like about Mega Draft a lot, is that there are things that make no sense when building standard decks that can work when you're building a Mega Draft deck. So,
exactly.
Again, best game mode in Clash Royale.
Exactly. And to the people that say that sometimes you can get bad matchups and you can't do anything about it. Well, we just saw Pedro get one of the worst matchups we've seen over all of our brackets, and he won it pretty easily. So there's still always room for outplay.
Room for outplay. And another note here, there are no Evos in Mega Draft.
Yes. I know a lot of people that will be happy about that.
And Smurfblade saying, or serve and take a beatdown deck. That could have been a move as well. I've done that earlier. I took Goblin Barrel into Log and Arrows. It was a throwaway card that encased but disrupted their game plan. In that case, got it. So one thing that also, it's really interesting when we're talking about no Evos being in Mega Draft, Jules, is that it lends ourselves back to champions being such an important part of the draft, where champions have kind of really gotten quieter in the Evo meta. Here they're back with a vengeance, and specifically, you know, the 3-card cycle being such a massive part of this mode now.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it shows that champions are still strong. They're just being overshadowed by completely broken cards. Just pay to win, says Pingu the Clash Pro.
Let me get 1 second. I'm just responding to a quick message.
Smurfblade says, I'm a bit more surprised that they don't save their champ pick for later. Yeah, I mean, that the optimal play is often to save your champion pick when they've already picked their champion, because they can't do anything about it. But sometimes you're just in a situation where you're not sure what to pick, and you kind of want to go for a safe game plan and leave your options open, so sometimes you're forced to pick that champion anyway.
Good Golden Knight connection. And that barrel gets a lot of value. Valk not able to clean up as much as maybe Lucas would have hoped. 1963 to 2254 as we go on to sudden death, and Lucas trying to get these poisons down. Skellies will counter the wall breakers. Is the minor poison going to be enough here with Lucas not having really ideal counters to the Goblin Barrel?
Yeah, it doesn't have ideal counters to the wall breakers either. No small spell. He's going to be forced to mortar it at some point. Really nice split wall breakers there to pull the aggro of the mortar to keep those rascals alive.
And there you go, Fire Spirit plus Skellies, but stabs still get in. Wow.
Yep, you mistimed it. It's fine.
But Lucas does have a much faster cycle. We're almost a triple elixir. How impactful can the minor poison cycle be here? Uses the Mighty Miner ability, but gets it early. A little mistime. Oh, no.
You know, I reckon he's still in this. Minor poison can still do a lot of damage, but it's going to be very hard for him to come back here. He needs some perfect defense.
He needs perfect defense, and he needs to keep these Mighty Miners alive for that 3-card cycle.
Yeah, exactly.
He should set up Mighty Miner way in the back here. Miner goes to the back, poison in, 10:07. Keep in mind, folks, that the log is not going to do as much to keep up with minor poison. And look at that. 994 to 10:07, 23 seconds left. Now it's Pedro who has to put the pressure in. Goes with Wall Breakers plus Goblin Barrel. Wall Breakers get a key stab. 829 to 994. Poison in, 12 seconds left.
Mighty Miner's alive. He's going to go back to another miner, another poison. I think it's
and there is a minor catch. Can the Goblins do it? They cannot. The only back-to-back monthly winner without a coach stays alive a little longer in today's competition.
Yeah, so I think that was... I think Pedro's gameplay today might have been just a level above Lucas's, but just some genius picking by Lucas, in my opinion. He didn't panic when Pedro took all the answers to Golden Barrel. He took Valkyrie, took the Fire Spirit, the Skeletons, and the Mighty Miner, and he covered it brilliantly.
Covered it very brilliantly indeed. And hold on, we've just about got our new bracket calibrated. Where are you, new bracket? There we go. And I will go ahead and send us to our bracket view Boom, there we go. Lucas makes it on to the next round while he will await the winner of Samuel Bassotto and Sandbox. Man, when we're talking about the ending to that game, Jules, was that more about, it really felt like it was going to be the Goblin Barrel and all the bait stuff really taking advantage of the challenges that Lucas would have countering them. But was that just an example of how nasty Minor Poison is when you get into that 3-card cycle?
Yeah, I think so. Lucas did an amazing job of just playing defensively, never overcommitting. He just cycled cannon carts, Valkyries, and Mighty Miners, clogging up the lane and making it hard for Pedro to punish. And then as soon as he got into the triple, he was just spamming those poisons and those miners, and Pedro couldn't do much about it except give him poison value.
And he did it very well. And we're just getting ready for our next matchup. And let me just double check something quickly here. So we're going to have Samuel as the first pick in our opening game here. And, I just realized why I don't have that graphic, folks. Everything happening on the fly. There we go. Let's go ahead and throw you in there. And we'll be ready to go into game here in just a moment. In fact, let's go ahead and get this game going with Samuel and Sandbox.
Okay.
And we'll just have to... I'll just have to catch up with the overlay, folks. Single man production studio. And here we go.
Okay, so both Poison and Little Prince on the board, so it'll be interesting to see whether they decide to counter Little Prince or go with their own Little Prince. And Bassotto chooses to counter Little Prince. I think that's a very smart option. As Poison is also the only true big spell on the board, it covers Little Prince and lots of the other options.
And don't worry, I know that some of these details are incorrect, because we all know that Lucas is the only back-to-back monthly final winner without a coach.
Yeah, so Sandbox opts into go Little Prince anyway, into a Poison. I think he's fine with that, just Little Prince being the best card in the game right now. And Sandbox, having picked up the log, sets him up pretty nicely, with Goblins and Goblin Barrel being on the board, and Rascals too. Bassotto is going to struggle to deal with all of those with the spells that are on the board.
There we go. And now we should be all nice and updated. So, taking Little Prince out of the equation, because Little Prince is pretty clearly the top pick at the moment. What do you view as the current rankings of the EVOs? Of the champions, I mean.
Oh, the champions.
Yes.
I think all of them are pretty equally balanced right now. But I think Queen and Mighty Miner are the two best, alongside Monk. And Skeleton King and Golden Knight are just a tier below. But otherwise, they're all pretty equal.
And Electro Dragon. Let's see.
I really like that pick from Sandbox.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at the options for it, and you don't have a good spell option. Yeah.
So I imagine we'll see a delivery from Bassotto here to be able to deal with the E-Drag and the Little Prince.
Jeff Wenson pointed out, why did Samuel pick Queen with the Sandbox pick? It's not like he could pick her. Yeah, that's interesting. I am definitely interested. I would have thought Samuel would have waited a bit longer for the Queen pick as well, but maybe he didn't know what he wanted to do yet.
Yeah. But I mean, maybe he should have picked Goblins or Skeletons. I think you're right. They'd have been a better pick than Queen. But sometimes people just are not sure and they want to go with a safe pick. Okay, so Sandbox going with Goblin Giant instead of Goblin Barrel. is interesting. We'll see what we got. I mean, I guess EQ could be a nice last card here. Sandbox, or even a Goblin Barrel if he's feeling spicy.
He has plenty of ways to handle the Miner, and Goblin Barrel is the spicy pick.
Spicy. Yeah, I really like that Goblin Barrel pick because now Bassotto is going to be forced to choose between delivering the push or delivering the Goblin Barrel. So it's going to be hard for him to defend these big combo pushes.
And I might have to kill all the sound just to stop the new most annoying emote.
Yeah, two very, very solid decks from both sides, I think. I really like these picks.
Oh, okay, that makes sense now.
And yeah, Queen Delivery Skellies is one of the best defensive combos in the game. And obviously, Bassotto being one of the best cycle players, you can see some really solid defenses from his end.
And Samuel certainly had an interesting World Finals this year.
Yeah.
I was unfortunately not on the desk during the crazy game he had with Morton.
Yeah. Yeah, that was wild.
One of the wildest moments as Morton continues to deliver some of the biggest moments in the game.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the only time in history we've had that in a World Final. I mean, I don't think we've had it in CRL at all, have we?
I don't know if I remember any of those in CRL. I know I've cast those moments before, but I don't know if I've cast one in CRL, and that's kind of I'm not exactly remembering. Here we go. Miner goes to the Little Prince.
Is there any Mo today, says Mohammed. No, we originally had Mo, but Mohammed had a last-minute tutoring session, so he's out for today.
Yeah, unfortunately, thinks school is important or something. I don't know.
Nah.
Yeah, right?
Ridiculous take.
So Samuel has been opting to just purely, and he does go with the late mortar there. I was about to say he'd just been going with the pure DPS responses to the Goblin Giant, but then here he goes late with the mortar. And was that just? Go ahead.
Sorry. Well, yeah. Well, since he knows Sandbox has no big spell, he knows he can just stack up these troops in front of the Goblin Giant. Sandbox can't do much about it.
And was the late mortar just to catch the last bit? Like, I guess what I'm confused about is why the mortar came out in that moment.
I'm not sure. I couldn't tell at that point.
Archer Queen to the right-hand side as we go into sudden death overtime. No one's been able to really find a way to do any significant damage. The Goblin Barrel has been countered nicely by the Royal Delivery. Samuel has not been late on those deliveries yet, or not substantially at least.
Yeah. Really clean gameplay from both sides so far. I think I can see Samuel winning this matchup. He can just keep cycling minor poisons, as everyone always does. And as long as he cycles Mega Minions and Valkyries behind his tower during these Goblin Giant pushes, and he can cover the Goblin Barrel at the same time. Because delivery poison is really going to be hard to break through for.
And Miner continues to work. Sandbox has not yet been able to get the two-part combo that he really wants. But he might just be continuing to split lanes. Interesting NATO to try to pull everything into the Electro Dragon range, get some Electro Dragon splash on there. He does. Lead now for Sandbox in the final minute. And you know what? Jeff Wenson saying, I remember a double tower one time in Season 1, Vulcan versus Adrian Piedra. And I feel like I do remember something like that in Season 1.
He's going to have to start cycling these miners there if he wants to catch up in damage. There we go.
Poison in front.
Great poison.
Yeah. Phenomenal. Goblins will walk right into it. Samuel a little low on elixir here and has to do an alternative.
Oh,
Yeah.
super nice nado.
Wow. That's a game winner.
Yeah. I think that's it. Yeah, GG. All off that beautiful nado. Yeah, that was really nice by Sandbox, pressuring and forcing out the delivery, and then going straight with that offensive Goblin Barrel nado opposite lane. Very nice patience by Sandbox.
Very patient indeed, and let's go ahead and find out what Samuel wants to do, if he wants first or second pick for our next game, as I go ahead and get our replay going here for this one. And so for a while you see that the defense had just been pristine from Samuel, had not really found himself getting into any real problems. And then with this final 30 seconds, he knows he needs some good work and goes minor poison here. Gets a lot of minor poison value, but then delivery has to go behind the Little Prince, which means no delivery available, and immediately Goblin Barrel comes out. The NATO pulls the Mega Minion away from the Guardian, and there you have it. And looks like Sam...
Killing the skeletons simultaneously. Really nice.
It was just all around a perfect sequence, and I think that's one of the interesting things. You know, I obviously I'm not a bait player, and I don't know all the different ins and outs, but in this specific matchup, you really have this one card that is such a phenomenal counter to two specific cards. And normally we think of bait as the princess and the Goblin Barrel, but here we have the Little Prince. And the Goblin Barrel against that delivery ended up being absolutely perfect. Let's go ahead and jump into our draft for game number 2.
Yeah, so Bassotto says he's lagging a little bit since the update. Well, the maintenance today. I think everyone's been lagging a little bit. Not sure if it's server side or not, but
it does.
I don't know if you guys in the chat had the same experience, but.
It's unfortunate. Hopefully he can overcome that, but, you know, we are not in a replay for lag situation.
Yeah.
Nice saying Morton is the best Mega Draft player I've ever seen. Jules, comments?
Second, maybe. If my gameplay was up there, then I'd have him.
So arrows, poison, and then the archers pick. So no great solution for the archers available for Samuel here. Of course, they are not Evo archers. Yeah. So a huge difference, but Sandbox taking a lot of tools away from Sam.
I think we could see a monk here from Sam to try and counter the archers, otherwise he's going to really struggle to kill them. There we go. But yeah, two very solid decks from both sides here. Sandbox going for more of a control deck, and Bassotto going for his comfort in a minor log cycle deck.
And
I think bats could be a very solid option for Bassotto here, because arrows or poison is always going to be a -1 or 2 trade for Sandbox to kill them.
Plus the goblins as well. So right now he could create some real negative trades.
Yeah.
And there's no Electro Spirit out there. I mean, you do have the Night Witch pick and the Archers, which do cover a little bit here.
Yeah, and the Night Witch is a really, really nice pick. There's pretty much nothing on the board for Bassotto to deal with that. E-Spirit's going to be an okay counter, but Night Witch cycles in the back is going to be a real nuisance for Bassotto.
Does Sam pick a big spell here? He has two options. They're both kind of funky.
Yeah. And I don't think Lightning really goes with Minor. He's going to need a building in order to cover any beatdown from Sandbox, since Sandbox has second pick.
Does Samuel recognize that he needs that? He looks at all the things he can't counter.
Yeah, it could also go with a Prince, maybe. That would cover some kind of beatdown.
And Samuel just kind of weighing his options.
But he takes Balloon, so we could definitely see a Golem or a Giant from Sandbox's side. I think Golem could be pretty solid here.
Yeah, the Monk will just knock it back and goes Ram Rider.
Ooh, Ramride into E-Spirit and Log. I'm not sure about that. But then it's going to mean that he really shuts down that balloon. So he's opting for a more control deck rather than a big.
He already had Archer's Poison and Bomb Tower. It feels like your pick on the... I understand the defensive pick there, but it feels like in a race situation that
Yeah.
it would have been in Sandbox's favor.
Well, yeah, he already had Minions, Night Witch, Archers, Arrows, Poison, Bomb Tower, which are all reasonably good counters to the balloon. So it feels like Golem might have been more solid there. But these players know their own comfort, they know themselves, so he opts to go with more control.
That Electro Spirit hits all the things at once. Ram Rider behind the minions, which will get a little bit done in front of him. Arrows to clear. Ram Rider will touch. Not a big one, but it's the minion behind who swipes. Throws a whole bunch of Dark Elixir on there. That's 1941. First blood drawn, or first meaningful blood drawn here by Sandbox and Sable Bassotto in a big hole. Yeah,
really smart recognition by Sandbox there, knowing that Bassotto has nothing for the minions and going aggressive with the minions Ram Rider combo.
Adam David says, holds the record for most Mega Draft wins in a row and for most Mega Draft Challenge wins, talking about Juicy J as a Mega Draft champ.
Someone has said nobody has seen EGW's deck building skills yet. Yeah, I mean, EGW's deck building skills work for him somehow. Somehow he makes these crazy decks work, but no one else can play those decks for some reason.
And I'll throw that one up there. The EGW deck building skills. Legendary Wildness. So Monk at the bridge. Now the loon finally comes down. Monk does get into range and gets the reflection. Huge reflection here. And shockingly, Samuel is going to get at least death damage.
Yeah, but yeah, there's no way to deal with these minions for Samuel. So a really strong pick by Sandbox. But Bassotto is playing these defenses really well.
I feel like Samuel needs to maybe do some dual lane pressure here. Like once we get in the triple, minor bats one lane versus balloon in the other.
Yeah, I agree.
But even then, you have the arrows, and then you have the minions. This is
one of his best chances of getting through, I think, would be a cannon cart bats push.
Well, here goes cannon cart loon. Bats with the balloon here. Arrows clear. Minor tanking. Balloon not going to touch, I don't think. But Minor does get a good amount of damage, plus death damage as well. 2273 to 1941 with 1:35 left.
Yeah, I think Sandbox can just control the game from here on out. He can keep splitting archers. I would say he can keep splitting minions, but he can no longer split minions, unfortunately. But yeah, cycling Night Witches and Bomb Towers, I don't think there's any way for Bassotto to break through.
Great
I mean,
arrows.
Great prediction comes down, yeah.
Brilliantly done by Sandbox. 1564 as that touch does, unfortunately for Samuel, break through. Here we go. Triple Elixir. What kind of magic can Samuel pull out? He goes high with the balloon. I thought maybe we'd see like a low balloon, high balloon play here. We don't see it. Cannon Cart going to try to hold the Valk here. And a little reset against the Ram Rider. 1930 left-hand lane, 400 HP-ish.
Yeah,
the deficit.
Bassotto holding out here. He delayed on his goblins, predicting the arrows prediction from Sandbox. A really smart play by him. Playing really well in a very hard matchup.
Minor in, not going to be enough. Samuel needs to do something and do something fast. Cannon Cart tanking for the loon for the moment, and the loon gets pushed around the bomb tower.
Oh, wow.
Can it connect? It does not. That was so very close, Samuel. But hold on. Miner versus Poison. Will the Ram Rider connect? Log pushes back. Miner doesn't quite do enough. And Sandbox able to hold on for the victory here. And he will be our second finalist on the day.
Yeah. I mean, very well played by Sandbox and Bassotto. I think Sandbox might, in hindsight, have regretted not taking Golem there. His issue was being able to break through and build up a push. Samuel was able to defend cheaply while cycling miners and balloons. So I think Golem would have been a more solid pick there, but very well played by Samuel to survive for that long.
And hold on, I think I got this thing ready to go. Let's go ahead and send out our bracket, and we will take a look at our finals here. There you go, Lucas and Sandbox ready to go here in our grand finals. I'm going to queue up. I think I have those prediction arrows from Sandbox as a replay. Let me make sure I actually have that. That should be it. Let's go ahead and take a look. Here we go. This is the prediction arrows. Well, not quite yet. It'll come up in just 1 second. And talking about Samuel should split lane, but then it was Sandbox who did it instead. Absolutely. Sandbox did mix things up a bit, and I think that the prediction arrows are going to be this next play here. So there you see the Ram Rider sets up way in the back. Cannon Cart and Miner working on the left-hand side. The Electro Spirit holds, and look at how early those arrows are out. Log comes down. Still, Log, all that, not enough to stop the connection from getting in. GG, well played. Very nicely done.
So, who's your money on, Rich, between Lucas and Sandbox?
Ooh, I think Lucas is the better drafter than Sandbox. Sandbox could prove me wrong. It's interesting. They're both kind of similar, right? They're both guys who've been known as world-class guys for a long time, who both had challenging years here in 2023. Yeah. I do think that Lucas drafts just a little bit sharper than Sandbox does. But the question is, can Lucas get too cute and then go and mess himself up? So I don't know. I'm gonna edge slightly towards Lucas here, but this is like a 55-45 in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean that was my thoughts exactly. I think Lucas, is a very smart drafter, but he might try and get too spicy and shoot himself in the foot. So yeah, my money's on Lucas.
And remember, I'm gonna go ahead and get our overlay all fixed up. Lucas will be our first picker on the day, and this is as a quick reminder, folks, this is a BO5 here for our final between these two. So we're gonna get real spicy here. Why can I not find that picture? I'll find it somewhere. Oh, there we go. We're going to go ahead and do a BO5 between these two, which will be very, very fun. And that's another thing, too, that dual mode just really doesn't let us have BO5s. And we could have like a BO15 if we wanted to with Mega Draft.
Yeah. SHXB asks, what does coaches do? I don't actually know. Rich, can you tell me what coaches do?
Coaches take undeserved credit for the high-tier gameplay of their players. Is what I've gathered from Twitter.
I see that a lot on Twitter too, actually.
Yeah, I think that we're in an era where I think that in teams, coaches were actually more than anything more like team managers who scheduled practices and made sure the players showed up where they were supposed to show up. But in duels, after kind of sitting on some practices and watching coaches and analysts go through pick after pick after pick. The game planning that goes into what you guys do in duels is insane. Yeah.
I mean, especially for World Finals, where they're forced to plan everything before the day. There's a ton of preparation preparing for every single possible outcome, and you've got, hundreds of outcomes. So.
Let's see. So we should be kicking off here any moment.
Sandbox about to accept.
Great. And there we go. Let's jump into this thing. And I'm still working on getting the overlay totally ready. Oh, that was not what I was trying to do there. Hold on.
Murphblade says, I think Sandbox has the advantage as long as he isn't too outdrafted by Lucas. I agree. I think Sandbox's gameplay has been very, very good recently. becoming the DreamHack World Champion just last week. So yeah, if he manages to hold his own in the draft phase, then I think he has a very solid chance.
But that's the big question, right? Is how do you do during the draft phase? So we will see that happen here. And there we go. Overlay all of it.
So Lucas recognizing there's no ghost, there's no log, there's no arrows on the board, so going with first pick goblins. Goblins being a top 3 card in the game right now outside of Evos, I think that's a very solid opening pick.
I think this is what, we talk about Lucas being good at drafting. I think Lucas reads the full board faster and better than most people. Most people, I think, really catch onto the board by the second or third pick, but he's often, as you just saw, he just read that and got the goblins right out the gate, after that quick evaluation.
Yeah, he is very smart. A genius, one might say.
And he's just going to bait this thing up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Zap being the only small spell, he's in a very good position to go with bait.
I mean, again, does Sandbox... I was going to say, does Sandbox have to take away the Goblin Barrel just so he's not against bait, against bait, against bait?
I mean, it's a great option here, really, because Lucas doesn't have any answers to bait either, so Sandbox could be Goblin Barrel could be a great pick for Sandbox, yeah.
And there you go.
There we go.
Great pick from Sandbox. You love to see it. And now Lucas has to figure out, what the heck do I want to do? You don't have a skeleton barrel on here. He does have the wall breakers. He maybe needs to get some sort of tank in front of the wall breakers to help them slide on through.
I was about to say Drill was a solid option, but it looks like Sandbox has already read that option by going with Valkyrie. But Lucas can still go with a Miner deck. Miner Poison deck could still do very well. There we go.
And he does see that. Bro, you did Lucas bad here, says Mohammed. I don't know, I think Lucas did Lucas bad here. That the Rascals pick, I think, was extra. I think he needed to not make that Rascals pick when he did.
Yeah. So yeah, the Miner Poison comes down. So we could see a Monk final pick from Lucas, depending on whether Sandbox goes with a ranged card. But otherwise, I guess we'll just see maybe Goblin Gang's off the board. So it could be a Mighty Miner.
Mighty Miner only with 2 real targets. I guess it would help him with countering the Goblin.
Ooh, a balloon. That's nice.
And he can poison off the balloon counters, but it's still going to be a little bit late. We'll see if he uses that Miner Poison combo to make room for Loon's Mortar out of Sandbox, and I wonder if he sprung a trap here on Lucas.
Yeah, I think Mortar's a very solid pick there. There's no real good answers to the Mortar from Lucas's side. He's just going to be forced to cycle cards in the middle, which isn't optimal.
Smurfblade pointed out no champion picks this time. A rarity here. We're playing some old school Clash Royale in a new school game mode. Goblin Gang to pick up the goblins.
Yeah, no Evos, no champions. It's like the good days. Right? Is that a counter activation?
Oh, it is.
Wow.
Very nice. I feel like whenever you do get those fishermen behind the King Tower activations, they always feel really special. You're always like, I'm pretty good at this game.
And Lucas is pretty good at this game, yeah.
Little late. Wait, I swear that I didn't see that the miner went to the archer. I was looking for the tower, and the miner was, I think, behind the balloon. So I was like, where did the miner go for a moment? So Rascal Boy, we'll see how much Rascal Boy gets involved with some of these loon pushes later in the game.
Yeah. I would say this is a solid matchup for Sandbox, but the game's really going to change with the King Tower activation by Lucas. So I think the matchup is pretty even now.
And you see the help there on the Valkyrie by said King Tower. We are not yet in the Tower Troops era of Clash Royale yet. And who knows if Tower Troops will have any sort of fit into Mega Draft. So it might be that Mega Draft becomes the only real classic game mode in Clash Royale.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess the more stuff they add, the more people might be inclined to play Mega Draft.
Jeff Winston saying, holy cow, I didn't even know you could activate King like that. Glad I watch Rich's streams. Glad you're here. Fisherman getting tons of value in this matchup for Lucas. And with the archers going the wrong direction, gives just enough for the death bomb to get into tower range. Lead for Lucas, 22-47 to 21-03. Lots of pressure in from Sandy on the left-hand side, though.
Oh,
a
wow.
nicely timed zap. Goblins all over. And look at the spears shredding that tower. And this is kind of a similar story to what we've seen from Lucas today, that he's in control, and then finds his opponent finds one little opening and gets big damage.
Yeah, and this is what we were talking about before. Sandbox has gone with more of a safe control deck once again. And then Lucas got a little bit crazy, I think, with that balloon pick and going with like 12 bait cards. So even though Lucas made some very smart picks, he might have overcooked a little bit here.
Will the poison do enough? I don't think so. 1767 and not in death bomb range. And the fireball behind, late goblins, but the zap fireball, the zap and goblins clear. And now it's just getting back to a spell for Sandbox to take game number 1.
Yeah, and it's over. I think the deciding pick in that draft was Sandbox taking Goblin Barrel, recognizing that Lucas was going for a bait deck, and taking that off the board for him.
He did a great job. And let me go ahead and queue up. I think I have a couple of replays here for us. Let's take a look at this one first. And I don't remember which one this is, but it is one of them. And Lucas, I see, opting to go first pick in our next game, so they can go ahead and jump into that whenever they like. And this should be the King Tower activation, now that I'm thinking about it. I'm like, which replay is this that I pulled? This is the King Tower activation. The Goblin Barrel come in, for those of you who want to see it again. And the Fish Boy behind pulls the Goblin over. Boom. Beautiful little King Tower activation.
Yeah, in the first 40 seconds of the game, too. So it's a huge game changer.
Yeah, massive, massive game changer. But still, in the end, doesn't end up working out for our guy, as we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of the... Let me speed this up a little bit here, because now we're getting in. And this was that later play. And you know what? I'm just going to go ahead. We can look at replays later. Let's go ahead and look at the draft instead. Rocket, Poison, Arrows, Freeze, EQ, Lightning, the spells here. Little Prince is on the board, so that's the first pick. So we're in kind of a little to no small spell situation, depending on how you think about 3 Elixir cards. And Sandbox goes and takes the 2 strongest spells off the board immediately.
Yeah, and Sandbox is in a really solid situation now, because Sandbox is going to want to take Monk at one point to counter Little Prince, but since Lucas has already taken his champion, Sandbox can wait until the very last pick to take his Monk.
And don't worry, folks, I am fixing that score, so all will be well.
But I would say maybe a smarter pick for Lucas would be Poison first, and then going with the Monk later. That way you're always going to have decent counters to Little Prince, and you have the best spell in the game right now.
So Loon is available, and we're seeing Baby Dragon plus Minions being picked here by Sandbox. He could be going for Golem as well. Cannon, the only really good building available for Lucas.
Yeah. And yeah, good point by Smurfblade in the chat, saying Graveyard looks pretty solid from Sandbox right now. But Lucas recognizes that straight away and takes the Mother Witch to cover it, knowing Sandbox is one of the best players in the game with Graveyard.
So what is Sandbox going to go with here? Pigs, probably not.
Yeah. So yeah, takes the Monk.
So this also could be a Royal Giant deck.
Yeah, Royal Giant deck from Lucas could be pretty solid, but he's already taken Ice Golem, so he might be going for more of a cycle. I mean,
Well,
Fisherman makes it.
I was wondering if maybe Sandbox. I mean, Sandbox could go Loon here as well, but I was thinking maybe Sandbox goes Royal Giant just to because he doesn't want to go beat down and get easy King Tower activations. I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, he has to do it last pick because there's still Barbs and Pecker on the board, and Sandbox doesn't have a Fireball or a Fisherman. But yeah, it could be a nice surprise last pick from Sandbox.
Earthquake for Lucas, feeling kind of cycly.
Yes, this could be Piggies from Lucas. Could even be RG too. And there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Barbs is going to cover any Giant Skelly, Giant Golem, RG, or the Goblin Giant deck. So Witch is a nice pick too.
So now, I mean, what's Sandbox's best direction here? Loon is open.
Yeah.
And Lucas picks it. So is Graveyard really the only pick for him now? But it's against Mother Witch. I guess he can be poisoning.
Yeah, maybe it's Pigs. Maybe it's I don't know. Very, very smart picks by Lucas. Sandbox in a hard position right now. Yep, I think he got auto picked. He couldn't pick. He was in too hard of a position to decide.
Brutal.
So yeah, very, very smart picking by Lucas, putting him in an impossible position by taking the Balloon, the EQ, and the Mother Witch.
What a tough one. And Lucas just cycles EQ to open. And Sandbox flexes the accidental cannon.
Yeah, so Lucas still isn't in an amazing position because Sandbox has lots of annoying troops like Baby Dragon, Witch, etc. So Sandbox might be able to overwhelm or just spell cycle depending on how the game goes, and he also has lots of balloon answers.
Witch into Mother Witch is an interesting choice now that I think about it.
Yeah, maybe he felt confident because he had the poison in the monk. But...
And what is this Ice Golem going to do today for Lucas?
I think it's going to be really nice in front of the balloon to tank alongside an EQ.
Barbs split, pick up the Baby Dragon. I forgot that Lucas picked the balloon, and you said that. I was like, oh yes, that's what it does.
Yeah. But yeah, so Lucas picking balloon was a great pick to stop Sandbox getting his preferred win condition. However, he's in a pretty bad position offensively because he has to go with balloon, EQ into minions, Witch, Baby Dragon, and Rascals.
That's the next thing I need is somehow to get an overlay that shows the picks. And the pick order, too. Because I think the pick, when you look back at a game, the pick order ends up being so impactful. When you go, oh, like, what was the six pick on each side? Things like that.
Yeah. I mean, even with no win condition, I don't think this is that bad for Sandbox. I mean, I think with Poison Cycle, with just stacking and cycling these troops, I don't think Lucas can do much about it.
And even the cannon here to pull the loons away.
Yeah.
So, first 2 minutes and change away, Lucas does have the lead, and he's getting some value out of these Mother Witches so far. Has not done anything dramatic with the balloon yet, but here we go with the Guardian out in front. Little Prince behind, Mother Witch behind.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What a play.
What a play indeed. Now, does he have something? Will the Barbs be the answer? On the right-hand side, the Barbs are the answer. And with 15 seconds left, Lucas just pulls the rug right out from under Sandbox. The Guardian in front of the Little Prince, followed by the Mother Witch, and those minions could do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, that was amazing. He kind of did a feint of a push on the right side, got Sandbox to overcommit just a little bit, and then went all in on the left side with the ability in the balloon.
Here we go. Let's take a look at the replay for this one, and you'll see the Ice Golem plus Mother Witch over on the right-hand side, and then, boom, the balloon down, and watch the Mother Witch come down. Perfectly timed here, and those minions did not have the tiniest bit of chance. Loon gets all over the tower, and, yeah, Sandbox in the chat saying cannon random pick. We know.
Yeah.
And Lucas Lucas also with an I know and a little sad face there.
Yeah.
What a perfect sequence there for
Yeah,
Lucas.
an amazing draft as well to pretty much force Sandbox into a random pick.
So let's see if we can figure out which pick Sandbox wants here in this next one. And as we're waiting for that information, folks, this I'm linking it in the chat one more time. It's also the pinned comment in the chat. That's not working. Hold on 1 second, folks. But big thanks to our sponsor for today's stream, providing the opportunity for us to do this. That's Raid Shadow Legends. The link is in the chat, and also you can use this QR code right here on screen at the moment. Come and join me and play after this competition is over. We'll be doing some sponsored stream from Raid Shadow Legends, who provided the prize pool for today's event, and I really appreciate them helping make events like this one possible. So you can go ahead and join me after we're done. Of course, we still have up to 3 more, at least 2 more games in this one. So we're going to have a lot more Clash Royale yet to come, but after that you can go ahead and join me. And it's also, if you want to support this stream and streams like this and these little kind of grassroots esports things that I do here, checking out Raid is a great way to do it because they support this and that supports me and this stream as well. So looks like we do have it's interesting. We're just kind of sticking with the same thing here where it's going to be Lucas picking first as Sandy like second. So, I mean, that makes my job easy on the graphics op side of things. And let's see, Bush Gaming saying Lucas got lucky, LOL. I mean, Lucas saying that he got lucky pretty much in our chat here as well. And what is the prize money? This is a little small tournament, $100, $80 to the winner, $20 to our second place. Just enough for us to have some fun here and get to watch some competitive mega draft with our 5th one of these little mini brackets we've done, Jules.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, yeah, it's interesting to see that Lucas is favoring the first pick and Sandbox is favoring the second pick. So 2 players with 2 different strategies.
And Smurfblade saying maybe Sandbox likes the double pick at the start, even if it's not the first pick. And that's interesting, right? Like, there is certainly, I think that's a really nice balance there, the double pick after that first pick.
Yeah. We have a smart Little Prince pick by Lucas there. There's no poison and no fireball on the board, so Little Prince is always going to be very solid in this situation. But Zappies is a very, very, very nice pick by Sandbox. Pretty much nothing on the board that can deal with those when they're on defense.
Goblins picked up by Lucas here, who now has got to be looking at, hey, there's Bar Barrel's the only real small spell here. And he picks the Valk, Wallbreakers, Skeleton Barrel, Goblin Giant, Giant Piggies, Graveyard. Looking at all these different win condition possibilities. And only only 2 really viable buildings and 2 very different buildings here in the cannon and the Goblin Cage.
Yeah. I think Minion Horde could be an interesting pick from Sandbox here if Lucas doesn't end up picking up the Zap of the E-Spirit, but he picks up the E-Spirit, so Minion Horde's going to be a little bit weaker. I think Rascals is a strong pick from Sandbox too. There's really no way at all for Lucas to deal with those defensively. But yeah, Cage is a strong pick. Not going to give any EQ value if Sandbox picks EQ. And it's solid against all the win conditions on the board.
It feels like either Graveyard or Pigs is the real direction for Sandbox to go here. Lucas does have both moderately covered.
Yeah.
And Graveyard might be the best pick now with the Cage pick, as he does have the arrows to deal with the goblins.
Yeah, I wonder what win condition Lucas is going to go for here with no spell.
And there you go. It is the Graveyard pick from Sandy.
Graveyard's interesting into E-Spirit, Valkyrie, Little Prince, and Cannon Cart and Goblins, but alongside Minions and Mega Knight, it should be a really solid combo. Pigs.
Did Lucas run out of time there, or was that the pick he wanted? He did get a win condition at least.
Yeah.
Maybe he's...
Sandbox might want a cannon here.
Yep.
I mean, I think a minion horde would have been really solid from Sandbox there. With no spells at all from Lucas, defensively, there's nothing he can do against a minion horde.
Here we go. Lucas just a little pressure play at the bridge. Sandbox ready for it. Zap in cycle.
Yeah, it's a weird matchup because both of them have great answers to each other's win conditions. But I think for like Lucas is maybe lacking a little bit of spells and a little bit of offense. So I think Sandbox might be able to overwhelm when it gets to double or triple.
Very nice.
Ooh.
Very nice.
That's huge though. Against the Piggy's deck.
Now you have the cannon to pull to the middle. You have the Mega Knight. You have the Zappies to control a bit. And a King Tower to get in the mix as well.
Yeah, with no spell from Lucas, just putting a cannon in the middle with the King Tower activation is pretty much going to completely counter the pigs every time.
So does Lucas have to hope for a big overwhelm push here? He doesn't really have great options for dual lane pressure, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to struggle to break through because he's got nothing for these Zappies, for these minions, for this Night Witch.
And that
so look,
his win condition is Phoenix Death Bombs.
Yes. And maybe E-Spirits. Maybe Goblins.
Maybe everything. Notice Mega Knight has not made an appearance yet. Sandbox just playing real control, kind of knowing that it's going to be so hard for Lucas to break through without a mistake on his side.
Yeah. And I think when Sandbox will end up winning will be when he gets a Mega Knight plus minions or Night Witch push going. And then once he graveyards alongside that push, Lucas is forced to E-Spirit either the push or the graveyard. So one of those two is going to get a lot of damage.
Very aggressive. Mega Knight up front. Cannon Cart plus Valk to hold. Electro Spirit does go high. Goblins should get dealt with by the arrows, and they do. Brawler gets a couple of shots in, and I mean, Jules, you couldn't have written it up better, as that is huge damage for Sandbox.
Yeah. So yeah, he was forced to E-Spirit the Night Witch, and the graveyard got a ton of damage, since he has the arrows for the Goblin.
Little Prince with a little chip, down by about 1,000 right now is Lucas. Sandbox in a great position here.
So yeah, Sandbox choosing not to push with the Mega Knight in front of the Night Witch, knowing that Lucas has Little Prince in hand and he has no way to kill it. He'd rather just wait before Little Prince is out to build up a big push.
And just controlling at the bridge here. Little Prince in full auto mode, so you don't see the Guardian come out yet. Now Pig split. Little Prince still chilling. Mega Knight does come down, but Lucas is trying to get as much value out of this Little Prince as humanly possible, and so far that value is quite a ton. Can he get something to back it up, though? And he really can't. He's forced instead to prepare and play against the dual lane Mega Knight and Graveyard push. Mega Knight leap to the right-hand side. Graveyard mostly mitigated, but still critical damage in. And look at that. So much on the right-hand lane. Now both are a problem for Lucas.
And clipping the Cannon Cart, which is just a -5 for Lucas. So that was a huge Mega Knight for Sandbox. So now he can choose to split lane, and he can do surprise graveyards in either lane, with all the towers being at similar HP.
Phoenix plus Electro Spirit will do a nice job holding on the right-hand side. Little Prince plus Cannon Cart. Might want a Guardian here just to get the Cannon Cart. Never mind. Arrows were enough to get the Little Prince out of the way.
But yeah, you were right, Rich. You should have abilitied, but Sandbox did the arrows early to avoid that ability tanking for the Cannon Cart.
Excuse me, don't you know who I am?
And now opting for the opposite lane here with the Little Prince. Big fight in their left-hand lane. 2 Cannon Carts, plus Goblin Brawler, plus Valkyrie. This is the stack that Lucas needs.
That's a lot of troops, yeah.
And now he goes split pigs. Cannon, plus the Mega Knight will control most of it.
Double Phoenix, almost in the tower. Oh,
And
the Mega Knight doing it back. That's Mega Knight doing work in this matchup.
But there might be. Is there... No, could he get a pigs through? Probably not. Not going to happen now.
Back to Mega Knight, I think. So.
And there you go. GG, well played. Sandbox taking game number 3, and now with match point.
Yeah. Sandbox doing very, very good with these control decks. He's loving the arrows pick. I'm seeing. Yeah, arrows, arch. Yeah, he's played arrows 3 out of his 4 games. Oh wait, no, sorry, 3 out of his 5 games. So yeah, he's enjoying these control kind of medium cycle decks.
And let's see, does Lucas stick with being the first pick here, or does he switch things up? Like your commentating, keep it up, Rich. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Pedro has similar situation against Lucas in 1. Didn't happen this time, though. The MK Splash and Cart was insult to injury, killed his chance for a counter push. Exactly. And let's find out which one Lucas wants. First or second pick. And those of you who are here, again, thank you very much. Like I've said before, this is today sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, helping make today's event possible. If you haven't yet, go ahead and use the QR code above to download the game. After this match is over, we'll be switching over to Raid for a little while to enjoy our sponsor and the wonderful support they've given us. And hopefully you stick around to support me and the stream as well. And looks like, oh, Lucas changing things up here. I need to go ahead and do a bunch of work to the overlay while these guys are hanging. So give me just a second here.
Yeah, Lucas opting to go second pick. Not happy with Sandbox being able to pick his win condition as the final pick in the last game, so he's looking to switch the strategy for this time around.
All right, it won't be clean, but it will be done. And let me go.
Might see a monk here from Sandbox, one of the best counters to Little Prince right now. Actually, no, he should save monk since since Lucas already took his champion. But he wasn't sure what to pick, so he goes with monk anyway. And once again, quite a big lack of small spells on the board. So especially from Sandbox's side, Golden Barrel would be a good pick. But Lucas recognizes that early, and so goes with an early Goblin Barrel.
Fabi saying, why didn't you make an open qualifier, Rich? Because this is a special event. It's just some pros playing Mega Draft. Maybe we'll do some open qualifier events in the future. But these are these invitational Mega Draft brackets, which you've been doing for a while. They're super fun. And Smurfblade pointed out Sandbox's consistent approach of taking 2 spells early.
Yeah.
Spells do seem to be kind of important in Clash Royale, Jules.
Yes, I do agree.
It is always funny, you know. If you want to have, if you're a serious Clash Royale player and want to have a bit of a laugh, the discourse on the Clash Royale community Facebook group is always really funny because it's a totally different player base than the sort of the Twitterverse, everyone's super sweaty and competitive conversations.
Yeah.
And the number of people who say that spells are cheap and that spells shouldn't exist and who really hate spells always makes me laugh.
Well, I mean, I guess I can see where they're coming from because spells are the only kind of card in the game that are necessary in every single deck, so they are kind of OP in a way. But
well, you need troops and everything. You can't have an only spell deck.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess, but yeah, it feels like the only consistent thing that's in every single deck in the game. So I don't agree with them, but I can see where they're coming from.
Sounds even worse than the CR subreddit. I check the Clash Royale Facebook group quite often. It's definitely fun. It's kind of refreshing to get away from the high level stuff for a bit and just enjoy a different community.
So some really smart picking by both. Lucas taking Goblin Barrel off the board for Sandbox, and then seeing that Sandbox picked Xe, he took Nado off the board to mitigate that synergy between the two.
So counterpick.
Yeah, and Tombstone's going to be really solid here for Lucas too, as only Lightning and Snowball are the spells from Sandbox. So he's going to struggle to break through that. Get a King Tower activation from Lucas here. Oh.
You know, it's interesting. I learn something new every day playing Clash Royale all the time. Eventually you think that you kind of seen it all, but I've never seen that Rascals positioning on an Executioner before.
Yeah, neither had I actually, now that I think about it, but yeah, it's like these guys know their stuff or something.
I mean, Andrew and I at Snapdragon Pro Series recently had a big freak out moment because I had never seen an Evo RG get reflected by a monk before.
Oh, yeah.
And-
Well, I mean, it's become very meta only recently.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
I'd seen Monk against RG 1,000 times, but had never seen the ability used to create that interaction.
Yeah, and it works so well because obviously the knockback is mitigated because it just doesn't do anything, and so it's so much better just activating the ability rather than attempting to knock it back with the monk's knockback.
He had to wait to prevent the XE splash in the Rascals. Oh no, I know why he did it. Just I'd never seen that Rascals positioning against Executioner before. I'm trying to think of also. I know I haven't. I feel like you don't see a lot of Rascals these days either way. And during the XE meta, Rascals weren't super popular. I don't think.
Yeah. Well, this is danger for Lucas.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Controlling pretty well. That is a nice bit of survival there, despite how nasty the board was. 2067 to 2240. The Rascals proving value. And that's, again, another thing I love about Mega Draft. Cards that don't have much value in the standard game right now suddenly finding huge value in Mega Draft.
Yeah, it was a nice drill pick by Sandbox, recognizing there was no bar barrel, no log, no splash cards in Lucas's deck. And there's the Rascals placement again.
Trying to find some way past these drills. This might be the connection here. Big connection for Lucas. Bandit working defensively other lane, but Lucas now has the lead, 1476 to 2067 as we go into sudden death overtime. And the drill had been good enough, but not quite.
Tombstones is so annoying for Sandbox to deal with.
And smart activation of the ability by the little prince by Lucas to disrupt the reflection. Oh my gosh, it is. Oh my gosh, and the NATO pullback. What a NATO, perfectly timed. And this XE does not throw. We are very, very tight, folks. And Lucas now going to have to take some Royal Ghost damage with the NATO being out of cycle. But that could have been the game ender had that NATO not come out when it did. All right, thoughts as we go into the final 90 here, Jules?
Well, it's going to be very hard for Lucas to defend, but I think if he keeps on pressuring these opposite lane Goblin Barrels and Battle Rams, he should be able to survive. It's very hard for Sandbox to deal with Rascals, and the defensive poison is going to mitigate most of the push. But really, I can't make any predictions here. I think anything can happen. Very tense battle, and it's pretty even matchup too.
Drill into the right-hand lane. So now good opportunity for the full Goblin Barrel Battle Ram push. Battle Ram does not connect. That XE could be a problem. Great tombstone. Splash. It does splash. NATO pulls back. 666 to 601, 42 seconds left.
He's going to need to cycle poisons here. Get some tombstones down and Rascals in the drill. Oh, it's going to connect.
Oh, the drill does connect. Lightning in. 84 HP. Oh, wow. Can Lucas do enough in time to beat out the lightning? Can he get a lightning block? He has some ways to do it.
Off the NATO.
Oh, and the NATO's not there to help with this Goblin Barrel. Lucas has to get a lightning block to try to stay alive here. The Rascals, can they come out? He can't do enough. GG. Wow. Well played. Sandbox with a phenomenal, with a super fun round today. What a match. What a game. And I got to tell you, Jules, I loved every minute of it.
Yeah, that was amazing and really fun to watch. And it was as we were talking about before, Sandbox just stuck with these safe control decks while Lucas was trying to cook up these crazy decks, and he just did his thing and brought it home.
He did his thing super, super, super well. Man, that was an absolute blast. Jules, I am trying to arrange for more of these and more other Mega Draft stuff, so I know you'll be very excited about it. This is going to be we're reaching the end of the Clash Royale portion of today's stream. Can this be a weekly series? If I can get regular sponsors for it, absolutely. And again, stick around, don't go anywhere, because Raid Shadow Legends coming up next, the sponsor for today's stream. Sponsors like this are what make these Mega Draft brackets on my channel possible. So please support them. Of course, here's the QR code and the link in the chat both ways to be here. Hey, Sandbox with a GG in chat as well. What a game. Hey, well played, Sandbox. So much fun. He'll have to come back as the defending champion for this event very soon. Jules, before I let you go and we move on to the raid portion of today's stream, what's in store for... First of all, thanks for coming. It's always so much fun doing this with you.
No worries.
And we look forward
Pleasure.
for more. What's in store for you in 2024? I know a lot of the Clash Royale esports fans here want to know.
Well, I'm going to be the head coach for Morton alongside Thunderstruck, if you guys remember from the 2020 CRL days, and I'm going to be Mohammed's only coach going in 2024.
Very
so
cool.
Hoping for my first ever world championship alongside one of the two of them, but yeah, it's going to be I'm very, very much looking forward to this year.
Well, that's two pretty phenomenal picks. You have a world champion and 2 second places among those two players.
Yes.
So, yeah, lots of opportunity for you to get that to finally get that #1 finish.
Yeah, and just the people in the chat. So since maybe the ultimate goal is to make Mega Draft a weekly series, having maybe a king. So the person who won the previous Mega Draft will be here for the next Mega Draft. Which players would you guys like to see in the coming weeks? Don't say Mohammed, because he's already on the list for us to get on, but let us know who your favorite players are and who you'd like to see play these Mega Draft brackets.
Yeah, for sure. Please let us know. Jules has been really helpful in finding some phenomenal people to come and join in. And yeah, we'll have more of these very soon. And again, don't go anywhere. Stick around. We got Raid Shadow Legends coming up here in a minute. Jules, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for being here. And I look forward to the next one. I'll let you know as soon as I have our next sponsor lined up.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Rich. See you all soon.
All right, later, brother. Bye. All right, folks. How the heck are you? Thanks for coming and doing this with me. We are going to now transition into our second part of the day, as we have a phenomenal sponsor. Let me go ahead and switch up overlay. Here we go. I think you guys can hear me over here. As we are now switching over to the second portion of today's stream. Whoa, is that really loud? I can't tell if that's loud or not. Let me know if that gameplay is really loud or not. Let me bring that down a little bit further. I think that's in pretty good shape. We're switching over to our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends, who I'm very excited about. Oh, that's interesting. Every time I click away from my voice is echoing, huh? Really? Let me go ahead and unhide everything and see. I know exactly why. Boom. My voice should not be echoing anymore. Let me hide that. Oh, no. Let me unhide. Cool. I should not be echoing anymore. And then let me go ahead and I'm going to... we have a guest who's going to be coming and joining us for some of this today. Let me go ahead and find him. There we go. And I need to set up, I've realized I didn't set up the audio for our guest, so give me 1 second here. And audio output capture, let's do that. Great. And you will come from the virtual audio cable. There you go. And let me go in and join. And hello, can you hear me?
Hello, yes I can. How are you?
Hold on. Let me go ahead and fix that, folks. 1 second. I realized I didn't have that on. Where are you, Discord? You should be monitor and output. Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Are we good?
Yeah, let me turn the volume down a little bit. so we don't blow everyone out here. And hi, how are you? Thanks for coming on and joining today. This is Noobkex. Is that do you do noob or nub? I actually haven't heard it said out loud before.
Yeah, I go with Nub. I go with Nub.
Nubkex,
Yeah.
who's a really talented Raid Shadow Legends content creator who's gonna join and kind of help me. I have played Raid Shadow Legends. I'm level 21, which
Okay.
isn't a total noob. It's a half noob, I'd say. Maybe a quarter, maybe 3/4 noob. But you're gonna kind of help me navigate and learn a lot more about the game at kind of like a more meaningful level, I hope, and we can
Yeah.
have some fun here.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's cool. I've did this. I did another one of these yesterday, and it was on an account that had everything unlocked. I see that you're playing like on a fresh account here from the start. That looks pretty good. It's not crazy overwhelming. Everything is hitting you at once. You're getting tutorials for all sorts of things that you're not ready to go into quite yet. But yeah, do you want to show me your progress? Like, how far are we in campaign?
Yeah,
how are things going here?
They're going all right here. I actually just shared with you in Discord. You now have you should now have my screen share, so that
dude.
it's a little more immediate for you to get that, be able to see what's going on. And guys, everyone who's in the chat right now, you can see the QR code in the top right hand side of the screen. That's where you can go ahead and download the game and join as well. And again, every time you download, the more you play here, the more you support the stream, the more you support really fun events like we had today. So I appreciate it. So here we go. So where should I go from here? Do you want to see my champions? Do you want to see where I am in the in overall gameplay? Where should we start?
Yeah, I'm kind of I'm curious to see your champions. Let's see. Do we have any built up here? So I know I was just watching the end of your stream right there. It'd be cool to jump into some arena and perhaps see if we could take anyone down.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah. Okay, wow, you've already got a legendary. That's pretty nice with Samar Gem Curse. That's cool. How have you been finding him?
He's been phenomenal. I mean, obviously, you see, I've been putting a lot of grind into making him a distinctive part of my composition for my team. I've started putting some artifacts on him. I haven't really gotten deep into skill development yet. And of course, we're nowhere near on masteries, although I have some stars and some scrolls and stuff. But I'm also I'm nervous because I don't want to spend in the wrong places, right? I want to make sure that I'm really making, especially with this legendary, I want to make sure he's completely ready to rock.
I got you. I can give you some advice right away.
Great.
With your first gems, if we go back to the basic screen there, gems are sort of like the premium currency in the game. You're going to earn them sort of slowly over time. Oh, I see. You've got that gem mine unlocked. Okay, great. There we go. That was one of the first things I was going to say would be to grab that gem mine. It's like an investment of gems up front, but it very, very quickly starts to pay for itself. It's just constant gem income for free. And I'd actually recommend, probably on your starter champion, I saw you actually started with Galek, probably to just buy his masteries with gems rather than actually doing those in the Minotaur, just for your first champion, sort of kickstart him. So we could even potentially do that right now.
Now I'd seen some memes about Galek being the worst starter. Were those accurate memes, or am I?
Well, I could tell you right now, so the best starter is considered to be Kale. I could tell you I started with Galek as well.
Okay.
And my account never recovered. No, it's totally fine. They're all totally viable. You can go for whichever one you want. I went for him because he was my favorite.
Sure.
But yeah, I'd say he's third best overall, but like
Well,
it's fairly small differences. But yeah, so for anyone who's downloading the game with your link, if they want to get the best of the best to start off, Kale would be the #1 pick, the Dark Elf. 'Cause he brings in some poisons, which are really, really effective at taking down some of the bosses in the game. Just sort of like maximum HP damage, which other starters just don't have.
So you think we should spend some effort on getting Galek up rather than one of my other, like this legendary or anything like that?
Yeah, I think so. So the really nice thing about the starters is that they all specialize in basically area damage, which is exactly what you need for the campaign, which is one of the first big areas we're going to be diving into. And it's very, very strong as well in the arena, right? You just come in, blow them up. If they're all dead, you win the fight, right? So That's what the starters do. And in fact, they're particularly good. They're rare champions, but honestly, like they can compete with even the best epics, really, and even beat a lot of the legendaries too. So we got some flexibility there. So I would definitely focus on Galek alongside your legendary. Samar is he's more tanky, you know? He's going to do some good damage, but he's going to be very tanky, surviving. Galek is going to be your glass cannon, right?
Okay.
Nuking them down.
All right, so let's talk about where we go from here with Galek, and we have a lot of fun things to look at. Today, folks, we're gonna look at some of the campaigns. We're gonna look at some of the special events that are going on, dungeons, arenas. I do have a clan that you can join, so if you do download the game, you can join my clan, and I'll show you more on that in a bit. Let me know in the chat if you do download the game and want to join my clan inside of Raid Shadow Legends, and we can play together. So here we are talking about Galek. So I have some damage artifacts on him. Nothing super. Oh no, these are life. Never mind. I have some of the life set on him. I thought I had a damage set on him earlier.
You might. Starting off the gate, if we actually scroll down the damage list, you might get some good lifesteal gear. Usually, there you go.
Yeah,
that lifesteal gear. That's actually really good quality gear, and that's probably well worth putting onto Galek here at the start. You get that, I think, for logging in for the first 6 or so days on every new account. So
let's go ahead and give him some lifesteal then.
Yes. So that's giving us all the sort of stats we want. More attack. It's going to give him some speed, so he takes more turns. Crit rate especially, so we can land critical hits, which do much more damage. So yeah, that's starting us off very nicely.
Killer. All right. So I guess that some of these are upgradable when I see the little red dots there.
So the red dots are going to indicate you actually got new gear pieces. So you're probably earning quite a few from, doing your grind in the campaign so far.
Sure.
But yeah, you can upgrade them. Yeah, you can actually upgrade gear up to level 16. I'm not sure. You might not have that fully unlocked. Yeah, you can go up to level 8 right now. So that's probably well worth doing.
I think it's one of those things, right? Like, I'm so used to conservation of resources being such a critical part of the game.
Yeah.
So some of these auto things like this where I'm like, let's just auto it to 8. I'm like, but I'm so scared. I'm so nervous. Oh, God. A fail?
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, so you actually point that out. Every level you go up with upgrading gear becomes more difficult. There's actually the instant upgrade. You haven't unlocked that quite yet. It's probably a good thing, right? Not for new players, because like you said, you could easily go in and be like, oh yeah, I'll upgrade this. And suddenly all of your silver is gone. And you go, oh wait, actually maybe this gear wasn't worth it. What have I done?
Yeah, I'm wondering now. I'm watching my silver chip away here. There goes another 4,000. There goes a fail. Oh boy, that fail feeling is so brutal.
That's right.
Should I be trying? I mean, we burned through a lot of silver. Should I continue to be upgrading all this gear, or should we move on to something else? All right.
Yes, I would upgrade every single piece of this lifesteal gear. This is, it's going to be really good gear compared to the other stuff you're able to get at the start of the game. It really kickstarts you. So yeah, even when we get to the stage where we unlock like level 12 upgrades on this gear, I'd be pushing for that. Like I'd invest all my silver into this right now.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a YouTuber I like to watch for strategy games as well. I don't know if you know him, called Quill18, but he's got a catchphrase which is "You got to spend money to make money," right. Which is a different approach to strategy games. It's like I got constantly be in debt. So it's like spend all that silver so that we can push further into the dungeons and therefore earn more silver. And there you go. Capitalism.
Man. Yeah, indeed. Man, my heart drops every time I see that fail. I guess I have to get used to it. It's going to happen. But here we go. Man, we are just we're burning through silver. But now we're going to have, he's been in my primary set, so I guess getting him rocking and rolling makes a lot of sense. So some of the things we're going to talk about today, the campaigns, some dungeons, which I've done a little bit of those dungeons. You have, we also have the this month's raid Christmas story. There's a whole bunch of in-game events here, which I'm sure you have been kind of diving into as they just launched.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I actually saw that there's some stuff. Actually, not for me. It's for new players. So anyone that does download the game, it looks like using your code. If they go to raidxmas.com, you can put your player in-game ID in there and start getting some free stuff. So that's pretty cool. I can't do it, which is sad because I'm not a new player. But yeah, anyone that installs today can get some extra goodies there. And I think, did I see it right that if they follow your install link as well, they get some? Yeah, they get some free goodies as well.
Do you see how many? I just failed 8 times in a row. Should I hit cancel? Yeah. What's happening?
Oh, just go for it.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, that's how it goes. It's just there's a chance for every upgrade, and yeah, sometimes you can just roll bad. It can happen.
Okay.
We might have a ring to put on him as well. We've got a little red dot in the ring slot down there. There we go. Yeah, we have an orc ring.
All right, so we'll equip that as well. And I'm guessing you're going to say upgrade it.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Now, ideally with Galek, he'd be looking for an attack ring. Like, he's all about attack. But this is our only ring for now, and one ring is better than no ring, so we'll go for the ring.
I've heard that you definitely would like to have a ring rather than not a ring. And there we go. All right, so then we have glyphs.
Yes. So glyphs will be they'll be applied to specific pieces of gear. So you could stick it on if you want. You could find one of the pieces of gear that has attack percent. There we go. That's got attack percent. And then we can upgrade it and enchant it with the glyph.
Okay, so we upgrade.
Yep.
And
so it's the enchant menu actually over on the right-hand side. There you go. And you can stick it on.
And now 3%. That's a pretty big extra amount of damage. That 3%.
Yes, it is. Yes.
All right,
yeah, that really adds up.
Let me go out here and get this audio down a little bit further because that music is. Are you a sound on or sound off player?
I'm a sound off player, but I actually heard there's been a lot of apparently new music added in the new update. So my comments have been saying, "Yo, dude, turn the music back on, check it out." But I'm usually a sound off guy.
So I did put mostly defense and HP on my tank. I was smart enough to do that. So and then we have Galek all now geared to the teeth, and then I had him for ranged, and then I have her here as well, our shaman. But and I don't know if you see anything down here as we kind of look at the rest of my. So I also wanted to have a balance, right? So I have. I guess these are epic, but I have some blue, some green, some red because you have that. Yes. I don't have any purple. No, I do actually. Never mind. There's one. But is there anything you see down here that I should be trying to level up and replace versus my current set?
Oh, I just looking at it right there, I think you've got a pretty good set. There is one champion I see. He's got the red skull icon. He looks like he's from Lord of the Rings, kind of voice of Sauron looking type dude. Black armor helmet. Just to the left of Magma Blood right there. This guy, Grinner. Great name. Great look.
Creepy.
Very creepy. He's actually a pretty good reviver. So he could be like a good alternative to Shaman, who is a reviver that you get for free. But not necessary. I think you've done a great job actually focusing on the champions you focused on so far. That's a really good set to take forward.
Well, should we do something else before we get ready, or should we take them out for a spin?
Yes, let's go hit some dudes. Let's see how hard they're hitting now with that new gear on.
All right. So let's go. Let me claim these quests real quick. And so we have missions here as well. The challenges, the passes. All right, let's go into battle. So in the campaign, you can see here's where I am on the campaign.
Yeah, it's good progress so far.
Not too bad. Should we do some campaign work, or I guess we should start with the campaign a little bit. Campaign's kind of story mode for those of you who are joining along. And it's sort of it's the first thing you get access to. It lets you learn a lot about kind of try things out early on. Should we try to go, now that I've done so much upgrading, all the way to Tilshire, or should we?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and see if we can.
I think so. I think we could definitely push further now. I'm hoping with this new gear should make a pretty big impact. We should be hitting harder, living longer. So let's see if we can go further than we were before.
And so should he be my leader as supposedly my strongest?
Yes.
then,
So the main reason for the leader is for the auras. So you'll actually see like in the top right of actually all four of the champions we've got there, they have a little icon in the top. Like there's hearts on Samar and Galek. There's a defense there. Those are different types of auras. Samar actually has a really strong one. It tells you in the top left of the screen, 30% ally HP in all battles. That's actually extremely good. That's one of the better ones in the entire game. So you've been quite lucky to get a Samar early. You could see, for example, if we put Galek in that leader spot, if we dragged him across, the starter champions, they all have a 15% ally HP in all battles aura. So again, that's actually pretty damn solid for a rare. But yeah, the legendary one you've got is really good. Crit rate in all battles, that's a very good one too. That could be a strong pick if you want more damage, if you don't need to survive. So yeah, you've got some good options actually for auras.
and so now this is something important up here, the sort of the damage triangle, if you will.
Yes.
Spirit beats force, force beats magic, magic beats spirit.
That's
right.
right. Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. So if you're positive, so your magic champion's attacking spirit, extra 15% chance to land a crit, and they've got minus 15% chance to crit you. And in campaign, in pretty much all the dungeons, most of them anyway, enemies only have a 15% chance to crit. So if you build a team, that's the good affinity against them. They're never going to crit you. It's going to help you to survive. And yeah, obviously when you go into PvP, that into arena, that becomes even more important to counteract what your enemy's throwing at you.
So let's go ahead and
Boom.
I'm assuming that you auto battle, unless
Yeah.
you're in like Syria, unless you're in like a big PvP against someone who's another high skill player.
Yeah, exactly. For the most part, a lot of the stuff is auto. We'll actually look at one of the new areas of content, I think, here today, which is the Cursed City, which just came out. That's quite a manual-focused area. It's very tough, very challenging. I'm building up really specific teams, and in that, I've been doing a ton of manual play. And then, yeah, Arena is like the other big area where, especially live Arena, where you really want to focus in on manual and time your skills exactly to counteract what they're doing. A lot of it. Oh, new champion, nice.
Gore mask.
Yeah,
The champion design, I think it's like my favorite thing. Is just how
Yeah.
some of these guys look. Tearing Jaws attacks one enemy will ignore shield and block buffs, 10% of their max HP damage. Oh, nice. He's just cool. All right, so we got a new champion and nice little level up here. And should we just continue on? And I only got 2 stars on that one. I felt like 37 seconds was pretty good, but not quite good enough, I guess, for that 3-star victory.
Yeah, I think we must have had. Oh, so to get 3 stars, I think you have to do it undermanned. You got to leave some people out of your team.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I think so. So that's definitely something that you can do for sure. I think going through the campaign, it's probably worth going through and just blitzing it with the 4 champions. Yeah, 2 or fewer champions with nobody dying gets you a 3-star rating. Probably worth going through the first time. Just get it done, unlock the stages, and then it's like, ooh, I want a bit more of a challenge. Okay, I'll go back and now I'll try remove 2 champions and see if I can still do it without my full team there, you know?
Get all that 3-star stuff. And Rodan asking, sorry, is the CR tournament done? I just joined. You can rewind and watch the CR tournament. This is going to be available video on demand later. But I'd love for you to stick around here. This tournament was sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. They've been really excellent in helping me bring this really fun tournament that we had today to you. And a great way to support more stuff like this happening is by you supporting this stream and checking it out. And of course, the download link is pinned. It's the download link is in the description below. It's pinned here in the chat, and there's a QR code you can see in the top left-hand corner of the screen where you can also go ahead and download the game and join me as we try to crush these dungeons. And there's that battle. I'm gonna call him a battle pig. I know it's not a pig, but there's that battle pig that I just killed.
Yep. It's one of the cool things to the campaign. Like, there's a few champions that are up for grabs. Like, if you can farm the campaign and unlock those champions for free, basically, and they're often the ones that you're fighting in these stages. So yeah, you ran into him, you joined your team, and you paid him back by killing him.
Yes.
Harsh.
Okay, so every game has its own like subculture stuff of weird names for things. What are some of your? Do you have like some favorite nicknames that either you or like the community has made for things in Raid?
Oh, gee. That's tough. I tell you one thing that was quite funny was, it's a fantasy game, right? These champions have fantasy names. They came out with an animated series. I think you can actually find it.
Yeah, I think
as
we
a
might
new
even
player.
check it out a little bit too.
Yeah, but one of the funniest things about that was, right, I've been playing this game for 3 years, and we were calling, for example, I was calling him Gaelic, right? I thought his name was Gaelic, and then we watched the animated series and they call him Galek, and suddenly you're like, oh my god, I've been calling him, I pronounced his name wrong for the last 3 years of my life. This is a disaster.
Yeah, I've been rude all this time.
Yeah, yeah. So that's a pretty classic one. Aethel is one. I called her Aethel, one of the starters, and then it's Athel. I'm like, okay, that sounds better. That sounds more fantasy. Okay, I've been wrong for 3 whole years.
That's a good rule with fantasy names. Is how would Tolkien give you a pronunciation guide to it? I know, but Aethel sounds like it might work too. You know what? I support you. I'm gonna get everyone to start saying Aethel.
We'll start a revolution.
Well, so far this adjustment seems like it's done great, and you can see the damage that Galek is doing is crazy now with the gear change.
Yeah. I'm curious to see the stats here at the end of this fight. It should be looking pretty good for Galek. But yeah, it's a cool game. You know, I often like to say with this game, 50% is like collecting the champions and building the right teams for the content, and then 50% is how you gear those champions, right? Getting the right gear, theory crafting your builds, putting it all on. So there's actually like a ton of strategy that goes into it. Like the gear that you put on can completely change how the champions work.
Oh yeah, and look at all that damage. Necro Hunter, step it up.
He's not doing too bad either. The gear you put on him is not too bad. He's doing some work.
Yeah, he's doing all right here. And Shaman is kind of there. Good for her.
Yeah. Yeah. She's there to pick someone up if they die. She's got to revive. So that's her main goal. She's hoping not to die herself and just to pick anyone up if they fall down.
And it seems like Galek's turn priority is also really good because he's getting these early significant attacks every single time.
That's right. Yeah. So the number one stat in the game is speed.
Sure.
And you're actually quite lucky, right? The gear that they give you, that starting lifesteal gear, it's all sort of like predetermined, really good stats, right? The perfect stats. So you got speed boots on, which are one of the number one things that everyone new to the game should be looking out for. I want to get my boots with speed. Any gear that has speed stats on it as well, that's probably going to be your top gear on the account. But that's going to make your turn meter bar fill up faster. So yeah, you're probably noticing Galek is getting a lot more turns than anyone else. He's just faster. And yeah, action economy is absolutely huge, right? The more turns you take, the better it is, generally speaking.
We have not had many of our champions fall that time, Necro Hunter, but you saw Shaman get the revive, so very nice.
There you go.
Let's go back to stage selection and see how far we are in this one. And we're on the last battle of Tilshire.
I think we take this down, and then I think we should maybe check out some of that arena. Let's fight some other players. I like it. We've trained up in campaign. Let's take it to the arena then.
I'm ready to go. And then I'm really interested in something like this limited time content that's going on as well right now. You know, we have this festival. I guess I'm not a new player, so even I can't, because I've had raid for a long time. I guess I can't get that, unfortunately. I could get there's a special promo code. If you have played raid before, there's a special promo code at that raidxmas.com that you can use for a small gift. But if you are new, you get a whole bunch of starting stuff when you use the link that's in my that's pinned here to get you guys kicked off on your raid journey. And then, of course, raidxmas.com has a bunch of other fun stuff as well. So
yeah, we could actually try put in that promo code when we get back to the home screen. Hopefully it will work. Oh, you get some story first. Very nice.
Or should they cut through the treacherous mountain and take him by surprise at Valdemar Strait? Oh, there is voice acting. I think
yours is better. Yours is better.
Thank you. I've said things out loud before. All right, yeah. Polarium, you can hire me to do and a dark mass was in preparation for the Deadlands. Let me see if I can do a better read. So our heroes took the shorter but perilous mountain route. I like my read. I think it was good.
I did too.
Who's the artist? These drawings are gorgeous. Do you know that? Do you know them personally?
I don't know them personally, no. I'm afraid not. But yeah, like the art in this game is just from top to bottom is just absolutely insane. Like we can check out the Cursed City as well, which is just really cool. The map they put together for the new content. But yeah, the art is unquestionably something that is just a 10 out of 10 every single time with this game without fail.
Quick question: should we jump right into the arena with what we have, or should we make any adjustments before we jump into the arena?
I think let's just jump right in. You know what? Let's do it. Let's fight some players.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
I'm nervous. All right.
Have you done any arena fights yet, or is this your first one?
This is maybe I have a long time ago.
Right.
Looking at these people, how do I pick a good team power 12K, team power 9600? I mean, team power 2000. That seems like a nice win, a free win.
That's an easy win right there. Yeah.
All right, let's take it. Free win.
Free win.
My team power is 11,000. All right, let's go get this free win. What if this is just this is some bait where it's like his team power is super low, but and let's just I think I can auto this, right? Oh yeah.
You'll definitely be able to auto this. This will be no problem. I'd say team power is usually a really strong indication of success. There's a couple of little tricks with it if you want to know, which are critical rate gives you a ton of team power. And then the resistance stat as well gives a ton of team power. So crit rate is fairly straightforward. It's going to make you crit, makes you hit much harder. So higher team powers, they're going to be doing a lot more damage. And then resistance is debuffs that you try to put out will be resisted. They won't actually place. So you might see someone with crazy high team power, but it's just 4 different tanks that are not going to ever die. You might want to avoid that. But yeah, team power, long story short, generally the lower, the easier it's going to be.
And let me go ahead and fix my chat, my chat overlay, because it needs to be updated here. Oh, that was wrong. Hold on, folks, as I go fix my chat overlay really quick. Glizzy in the chat. Glizzy, how are you? Hope you're having a good one. I hope you enjoyed the. I think that you're probably the Glizzy who was casting this last weekend. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me go ahead and see if the chat overlay is working. Why are you not working, chat overlay? Let's try this one more time, folks. See if I can get it fixed so that I can show everyone your tremendous comments. We'll try this one more time. And where are you? Do you work now? That is very strange. Oh, there we go. Glizzy saying, "What's up, Rich? How are you?" Today, we did a really fun Clash Royale tournament earlier, and it's sponsored today by Raid Shadow Legends. So now we have a really wonderful guest, Nubkek, here, helping me kind of navigate. And I've played Raid, but I've really played it just like I get the same few troops, and I go in there and battle and battle and battle. I've never played it really, like, I've never gotten into the depth and the intricacies of it. So we're learning a lot more about the game today, which is really fun. So I'm guessing because you're talking about this team power that I should maybe take one of these like 9,000 players on.
Yeah, we could even take on the toughest one. I think it's right at the bottom. We could try that. See how we do with our upgraded gear on our champions. I think we might have a chance.
Wait a second.
We put in the best champs.
You think that I could, with my team power of 11,000, I could take on that 31,000?
I think if we put Samar in, we might have a shot. So we've got better champions. We've got a better team build. I'm confident in the gear. But we'll see. We might get destroyed. It might fall apart. But I think we get Samar in. I think we get Necro Hunter and Shaman in as well. I think they're gonna.
Oh yeah. Oh, I had not upgraded my PvP at all. Oh,
there
now I'm at 17K.
Ooh. We're still a good bit behind. Let's see. Let's see what happens.
Oh boy.
It might be a disaster. But...
Okay, so should I auto? should I try to like really play this out, or should I auto play this? Oh god.
Oh, that's big hit.
Oh boy.
Okay, we've survived. Yeah, so we want to use his second ability for sure, which is his AoE. See if we can take him down.
Okay.
Oof. Oh, they're pretty strong.
They are pretty. They are very strong. Oh my word. Please be kind. Please don't buff everything. All right. So talk to me about these abilities here.
Okay, let's take a look at Samar. So I don't remember which is which, but the second one or his third one will be an AoE and one will be single target. If you hold down the click on it, it should bring up there we go. Okay. So that would be really good. He will actually steal buffs off them. They've got a whole bunch of buffs, so that's exactly what we want to see happen.
Oh, that was a ton of damage. No way.
There we go.
All right, and now fine for our hunter here. Dispelling blow, attacks on enemy has 20%, removing one random buff. And then here it's also single target.
Yes.
15% crit rate buff on all of our allies, which is nice. And then I could recall and bring back up my teammate here.
So I would say you're probably going to be hit by another AoE attack from his starter, which is Elhain. She's about to take a turn. We can see her bars almost full.
Yeah.
I'd probably go for your second move and buff up the crit rate, so hopefully Galek can take him down.
And should I take?
Hopefully he won't.
Should I take
Yeah,
this level 30 off the board?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Get out of here. That's a little uppercut. Oh boy.
This is the big hit. Okay, we're still alive.
Ooh. Okay, so Cursed Blade attacks 4 times at random. That actually feels pretty good right now just to get a lot of attacks on both. Or do I try
Exactly.
to... Yeah, let's do that. Okay.
I'd go for that, yeah. Hopefully it'll mostly hit her. Oh, didn't get the kill. But she will have both of her active skills on cooldown now, so she can only kill one person at a time.
Oh,
She's
no.
killed Galek. That's not what we want to see.
No!
We might want to revive him now with Shaman when she gets her turn. I'd
Okay.
definitely be trying to kill that Elhain. Yeah, and using your moves, the cooldown moves are generally stronger, so most of the time you're going to
And
be
use
going
that on
with
her?
those. Yes, we're
Yeah.
weak affinity, so that's unfortunate. We might weak hit.
Oh,
Nah.
that was huge. Okay.
It's close.
And and I should revive, what, Galek?
Yes, yeah, I'd say so.
All right,
get him
Galek,
back in.
get back in here. Please stay alive, everybody. Oh, you are dead.
Okay. She's going for... Oh, she went for Samar. Oh, he's down. But we've got a shot.
All right.
I definitely take her out.
And that was strong enough. Oh my gosh, this is so...
Can we win now?
Okay, so this is an AoE attack, though.
It is stronger either way, so I would go for that.
All right. This is actually really stressful.
Yeah. Oh dear, this could be bad.
Ah,
No!
it was so
It
close. It was so close, though.
It was. You know what? For being almost half of his team power right there,
Yeah.
we did a good job. We came close.
No, that was for sure. That was definitely a moral victory.
Exactly.
Well, then I think we can take down, like, who's the next strongest person? 18? I think we
Yeah,
can
that
win
seems-
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is very winnable. Let's do this. Okay,
I
so
believe in you.
and a lot of starter kind of stuff here on their side.
Yeah.
Who should I be focusing on to start though?
I would say usually with these starting type teams, like with new players, it's going to be their starter champ that's the strongest. So in this case, it's Galek would be the most dangerous one.
Well,
Like, you know, when you're starting out the first few weeks, you're probably going to run into new players and, you know, they might not know to be putting their gear on the champions or which champions are good, that sort of stuff. But they're probably going to put that starting gear on their new champ and they'll be pretty strong. Of course, when we get later in the game, it gets a lot more technical in terms of what you're going to be trying to target, you know?
yeah, for sure. We need the extra crit rate going for their higher level champion. And this looks
Yeah.
like it's going to be probably a pretty easy victory right now.
Yes, it's looking pretty good.
Okay, but Galek, I need you to go and finish this off, please. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate the support.
Boom.
Okay.
Very nice.
And you know what? I have to say, when you're playing, like, when you're doing campaign, auto is fine. I really enjoy actually making decisions when playing these PvPs.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot more fun.
Yeah, I'm the same. There is one cool feature. You probably haven't unlocked it yet as a newer player, but you will. It's not super relevant at this point, but you do eventually unlock the ability to like customize the skill timings of your team. Like, so for each different wave, so especially for dungeons, right? Setting up like, okay, I want you to use this ability at this time against this boss. Like save it on this wave, use it on the next wave.
Oh,
so
that's
actually
nice.
building like your full team and strategizing it. There's a ton of depth in that. But it's sort of like, you know, the wind-up clockwork toy in a sense, right? It's set up my team, build it, get the right gear on, and then you sort of watch it go. But yeah, then you've got stuff like Live Arena. You've got stuff like, yeah, Classic Arena like this, like the Cursed City or Hydra Boss even, which are much more manual focused, where it's like every decision matters. You got kind of the mix of both, right? You got the auto gameplay, but there is the manual stuff as well.
Yeah, it's stuff that you set up. Glizzy saying,
Yep.
I'm good. Casting was rough. I couldn't sleep the nights before. I was so exhausted. Oh, I know. I feel you. Hey, Rich, is the Mega Draft still going on? Yes, you can still watch it. It's this is a sponsored stream brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends, who've been very, very cool in helping us put on this really cool event. So we're in the Raid Shadow Legends portion of today's stream. You can still, on video on demand after the stream is over, you can still go back and watch the Clash Royale portion. But it'd be great if you stayed around and checked out Raid, and the download link is right there, and supported this wonderful sponsor who helped to make today's competition possible.
All right. Ooh, nice hit. You know, when we've done this one, we should actually check out our daily quests, because doing the arena fights is actually part of your daily quest. So we should check that out and see what your progress is on it.
Oh,
but that's stuff that's
bye.
super worth doing every single day. Oh, yep. That's
Bye. Man,
so we got a weak hit right there, unfortunately, because he's blue affinity and she's red. So weak hits, they just do less damage.
yeah,
Pretty rough for your damage dealers.
but still crushed it. All right, let's get out of here. And where do you want to
Yes.
go? Oh,
I
to
think we
our
go back to the
quests.
Bastion, and yeah, let's see how we're doing on the quest.
Let's go look at some quests.
Oh, one more arena fight. Okay.
All right, nice. Summon 3 champions. Oh yes, I should go pick up some shards, and we should do some exciting summoning.
Yeah.
Use 50 energy. Okay. Increase champions level in the tavern 3 times. Could do that.
Yep.
Beat a campaign. So we got some good stuff we can run through here.
Yeah, the daily quests, they're worth doing every single day. You know, it's just free rewards, which is great, and it adds up to your weekly and monthly quests to get you like some really good shards. So yeah, it's like one of the first things to do every day.
Okay, cool. Well, let's go ahead and do that last classic arena battle, I think, and then we'll maybe do some summoning
Let's do
and
it.
get ourselves set up for the next phase of domination.
What are we? We're 3-1 so far in the arena fights. It's not too bad.
Not too bad. I mean, we did take on a behemoth.
Yeah. I badly advised you to take on the hardest fight.
You know what?
We paid the price.
You know, you don't learn by winning. You know what I mean? So I'm
Yep.
good with it. This is attacks all enemies one time if the attack is critical. Okay, so this is interesting, right? So if it's a critical attack, this attacks everyone one time. It's and red has affinity over blue.
Yeah, that's right.
So attack there, and if it's critical, boom.
Boom. Yep. There you go.
Nice. And that's going to be an easy GG, well played, goodbye. And we finish
Yeah.
a quest as well.
Exactly. Yes.
And now we'll go
But
back to our quest, claim our reward. And now it's time. I think it's time to summon some champions.
Let's do it.
Go to the summoning portal. So I have a bunch of. Wait, do I have 62 uncommon? That's not right, is it? No, I have 19.
You've got 6. That's your champions total. So you got
total.
62 out of your 70 storage right now. You can upgrade that, of course.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then, so is Sacred Shard the best of the shards?
Yes, it is. Yeah, sacred shards are the best.
We
Probably
might
the
have
hardest to get.
We have to get some Sacred Shards. We might have to do that.
Oh, that sounds good.
All right, let's go. Let's go through these mystery shards first. Let me go back.
Is it forcing you to? It's the thing is forcing you to do this tutorial right now. This is a new type of summoning event that they just added recently, where it's like there's a specific number of champions and you can pop them in, and basically you can pick the legendary you want out of those 4,
Ooh.
and it gives you a 15 times chance to get them. Right?
Any recommendation on these legendaries?
Wow. Let me think. For a new player, I'd say maybe the second guy in, Staltus Dragonbane, would be maybe my pick. He's a really good defensive-based damage dealer, so he's like very tanky, right? He's super survivable because his damage scales off his defense. So you build his defense high, he can take a bunch of hits, but then he's got lots of AoE attacks as well. So maybe him.
And then, a weird, funky bat face.
Yes, Seeker the Funky Bat. He's a great champion as well.
So I can
Very
do
strong.
I can do this summon for 100,000 coins.
You could if you had any shards, but you don't have any sacred shards right now, unfortunately.
Oh, well, we'll have to get some of those. Right now, we'll go to these mystery shards, and I have. Let's go do a 10-time summon. I have to expand my collection. I'll use some gems and do that real quick. All right, let's do a 10-time summon. See what we get. So one thing I want to learn more about is that you buff up some of these lower. Like I have 3 yeomans, right? And those are all to feed. I should level them up first and then feed them to level up my other, my more powerful champions?
Yeah, exactly. That's something you could do. I saw that you've already done it with Galek a bit, right? You got Galek up to 4 stars, so you can feed lower tier champions into stronger ones to upgrade their stars, like all the way up to 6-star. You can use them for experience to get bonus experience. So that's a pretty big part of the game, right? With any of those common uncommons. Usually the rare champions, right? This blue rarity, they're usually worth holding on to at least one of each one, and definitely epics, legendaries, even mythicals eventually. They're definitely worth holding on to for sure.
So is mythical better than legendary?
Yeah, it is. It's brand new this year, actually. That's the new. I don't actually have any yet myself. I'm very close to my first one, but I don't even have one. So
where do I go to get primal shards then? That's the big question.
That is very difficult. So primal shards are going to be from 2 of the hardest areas in the game, which are live arena.
Okay.
Fighting against other players live, which you haven't quite unlocked. I think it's maybe level 50. And then it also comes from the Hydra Clash, which is a clan versus clan mode. So your clan against another clan, actually against another 4 clans, right? Best 5 teams in it, and the top 3 can earn some of the primal shards as well for fighting the Hydra clan boss, which is one of those.
Oh, claim this free gift. Okay, so more Clash Royale today. Yeah, you can go back and check it in the replay. But for the rest of the stream today, we're doing a really fun Raid Shadow Legends stream because they were a phenomenal sponsor. Really happy to have them as to help us make these Clash Royale events possible. So legendary shards or sacred shards are the only ones that you can buy. Is that you can't buy the super craziest ones?
No, they'll all pop up from time to time, like the special offers, limited special offers. They're constantly cycling.
Here's a primal pack.
Yeah, you could see that. Typically these packs are not. This is more for the stream, right? Typically they wouldn't be super good value. I'd be recommending the more limited special offer ones. You could even find there's content creators out there, right, that will break down every single pack and be like, okay, this one is a great deal, or this one, not so good. It's better to wait. So you can definitely be very careful. But yeah, for the sake of the stream, I'm just go for whichever shard you want to go for, man. Let's go for it.
So I think we might do the primal pack one. Just as let's get crazy. But if you're looking at these, what do you think is the best? What is the best value of one that when you see of these ones here?
Ooh, I typically I think for people spending, probably the Void. I'd say that primal pack from these ones is probably the best. Typically Void shards is what I'm going for because Void champions are really good. But primals, they're brand new. And they're the only source of mythical, or one of the only sources of mythical champions right now. So,
okay. And hold on, I'm gonna go ahead and let me do it this way. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna buy this crazy pack here today, and it's gonna be fun.
Let's do it. I'm gonna cross my fingers. We get a mythical. It could happen.
Do it for the stream. Do it for the stream, baby.
Exactly.
Let's see what happens. All right, we got it. We got it purchased, and so now we're gonna go. Some limited special offers for free. I can't get them now. Claim items. What am I claiming? Oh well. Let's go to our portal.
So I think you have to go to your inbox first to grab those things that you purchased. So the top right there. There it is.
Great. Oh, I got a lot of things to collect. Cool.
Yeah, you got some multi-battle, some energy, chicken, all good stuff. More arena tokens. You want to do some more arena fights after? You can refresh it.
If you refill, we'll wait that. It says I'll waste a few if I refill now, so I'll hold off on picking that up.
Yeah.
All right, so now I have them. Mm-hmm. Let's do this. Okay, so progressive chance. Should I be doing this progressive chance or no? Because we want to.
Yeah, I'd say we could set it up just the same. Yeah, there's absolutely really, unless you absolutely do not want any of those champions, it's really just a benefit. So.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So here we go. Our first primal shard summon. Here we go. Fingers crossed. What do we get?
I believe. Oh, an epic. That's not bad. Oh, Alika. Okay. That's actually a really good champion. So you want to take a look at her skill. She's actually one to definitely watch out for. I think she's actually kind of underrated. A1, you can see it's not too bad, right? Extra chance to hit. Cool. Yeah. A2, now this is a beast of a move because it ignores 50% defense. You can get masteries, which are sort of talents to customize your characters that can ignore 25% defense. And we can stack that with a gear set. And then we can ignore 100% defense. So even the tankiest champions, it's like, no, we ignore all of that and just do crazy damage. And then for A3 is maybe even better.
Attacks all enemies. 75% of chance increasing the cooldown of all enemy skills by 2 turns. Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah. So like you go first in arena, you smack them with that. Not only does she hit really hard, but then suddenly they get to their turn. Hey, all their skills on cooldown. What are they gonna do? Probably lose the fight at that point. So she's really, really good.
Yeah, and then here we go. And then a nice little revive. A 75% revive. That's actually crazy.
Yeah.
Only available when Sakara's on the team, so it's only for one specific person.
That's right. Yeah, it's her. I think she even looks very like her. It's her sister,
Okay.
the champion. Sakara's not very good, so you often wouldn't run the two together. But for some teams, you would. Like faction wars, where you can only use that barbarian faction, can be very, very strong.
All right. And then some cool. Oh, no skins yet. Okay, so let's go do our second summon.
Let's do it. That's a good first summon, though. I tell you, she's probably your second best champion right now. I'd say.
Rare for my primal shard. Man.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
Yeah. Most of the time, it's rares from the primals, right? So getting the epic off of the first one, that's
really
a great
nice.
start.
Okay, let's do our next one here.
Let's do it.
Give me something hot. Give me something hot. Another rare. Okay. The Wretch. It's got a cool looking face though. Reminds me of Ghost Rider. Is there a flaming Wretch? That'd be even better.
Yeah, there is. I could show you a version after if you like. He's one of my favorite champs.
Werven Blade. All right, now here we are, our last primal shard. I'm now really nervous. Like we got the epic, but we want something out of this world. Come on.
We've got 3 more. There's 3 more chances. So this is a rare, but we're not done. You got 2 more.
Oh, yeah.
It's not over yet.
All right.
It's not over yet.
Preserver, a rare. Okay. 2 more.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. All right, another epic.
Oh. All right, Vildrax.
Full human-sized horsefly. That is
Yeah.
That is so scary looking. What if you actually met that guy? All right, you're just like we're walking down, you're like turning a back alley, and then this dude like asks you to borrow $1, and then you only have credit cards. You're like, I have to say no to this guy.
Yep. That'll be a bad day right there. But he's pretty cool. He's got an AoE Hex debuff, which is really good against the Hydra boss. I actually did a video myself on this guy recently. He's kind of cool. He's got a couple of AoEs.
Okay.
So yeah, there you are. He sort of
right.
extends debuffs as well. He's pretty interesting.
Here we go into the final primal shard.
Yeah, this is it. The last chance. I mean, 2 epics. That's pretty decent out of it so far. But a legendary or even a mythical would be super juicy.
Let's see it. Give me something hot.
Are you feeling lucky?
No.
No. Not this time.
Like weird like Spider-Man alternate universe.
Yeah.
Hell Freak. This guy's pretty creepy looking.
Yeah.
All right,
He's sick.
So here's the question: Is did we pull anything out of that collection that you think should take the place of anything that we currently have in the setup?
Yeah, I'd say Alika would go in. I like I said, I think she's probably your second best champ. So I'd probably be switching out either Shaman or Necro Hunter for her. Whichever one you want. Like Shaman brings the revive, which might be valuable. Necro Hunter is good, but I'd say Alika is just straight up better, to be completely honest.
Okay, so I wouldn't have. She does give me that affinity, right? Because she has.
Yes.
So I think maybe that's where we get her. So now, should we go to the tavern and juice her up a little bit before we actually get out there?
Yeah, let's do it.
So I have all these guys down here to try to get rid of. Now, should I level them up before I feed them to her, though?
No, you don't need to do that for just upgrading level. Like you can just feed them in level 1. It'll be pretty much the same. When it comes to upgrading their rank, that's where you're going to need to build up. Like for example, she's a 4-star, right? To get her up to a 5-star champion, you'd need 4 4-star champions.
Got it.
Only epics start at 4-star, and you're not going to want to be feeding 4 epics into her. Certainly not at this point in the game. Like when you're super late in the game, that's something you can do. But at this point, no. So what you're going to have to do is take these common guys, the 1-star, and then level them up and feed their duplicates in. and make them eventually into 4 stars and feed them to her.
Got it.
Yeah, right now you can feed away. You could also use the brews you've got down at the bottom. And you want to basically color match the brews, right? They'll give, I think it's 50% bonus experience if you match.
These ones are good to use with her.
So the red ones for Alika,
red
because
ones,
she's
red
a
ones.
Force Affinity. There you go. So yeah, you can see that it's given her tons of experience. She's gonna zoom up.
Let's just do it. Let's
do it.
Let's boot. Yeah, level 35.
There we go.
Yeah, look at all the stat buffs here too. She went crazy. She went through the roof.
That's right.
All right. Should I continue feeding her, or should we move on to some other part of?
Let's see. Do we have any skill tomes? If we click on upgrade skills, I don't think we have any epic ones. We've got a couple of rares, so we could actually put those. If we X off the Alika, we could put those into our Galek and make him stronger.
Oh, interesting.
So
Okay.
There we go. Okay, you've done a couple already. Nice. So we can pop those in. And let's see what we get.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Level 4 and Cursed Blade. Right. Cursed Blade's getting juiced.
Oh, yeah. That thing's nasty. All right. Going back to our Alika, who now has jumped up in my rankings. So she is an attack troop. So for her, do we just go with offense, or do we go with crit rate? Her crit rate right now is 15%. Crit damage is 50%.
Yeah. So probably, I get there's a lot of stats that are good for her. Attack, very good. Speed is very good. Getting crit rate all the way up to 100%. And then accuracy is good on her as well. She'll need accuracy, which you can get from the accuracy set.
Okay.
To lock people out of their skills, so that can be pretty valuable too.
Is it better to do a mix and match, or to go for one set? Are there the set bonuses, right? I guess
you would
go ahead.
Yeah, like you said, yeah, two pieces of the set. So yeah, accuracy is a 2-piece set, so you kind of want to put 2 pieces of accuracy on her. But other than that, yeah, you can totally mix and match. The more stars on a weapon, the better. The higher the rarity, generally the better as well. So
got it.
Yeah, anything like that.
All right, so we'll do this weapon, and we'll do the boots. I think it was that she had.
Sure.
All right, let's get back out of here. Let's equip this. Oh no, it was the gloves. It was these 4-star
Got
gloves.
it, yeah. Hey, they're decent. So they're HP gloves. I mean, they'll be better for a support type champion, but it's totally fine on her as well. It's got speed on it, which is the best stat, so we won't say no.
Is there?
So yeah,
let's see, some other. Nothing else really great here for her.
No, like the 1-star stuff, you can pretty much just sell that straight away, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
We
I
don't-
didn't even know how you sell stuff.
Well, there's a sell, but if we go back,
I'm gonna get these. I'm gonna get these upgraded.
Oh yeah, sorry, of course.
Yes, I'm learning. No, I'm learning.
Oh, we got to roll into speed. We're crossing our fingers here. We're hoping that every 4 levels we'll upgrade one of the substats. We're hoping everything goes into speed. Can it happen? It might. 1 in 3 chance here.
Stop failing me. This isn't geometry. All right.
Oh, resist.
All right.
Not speed this time.
Okay, so sell. There we go. So just sell all these 1-stars basically.
Yeah, you could use a filter as well if you wanted to do it faster. That's something. This is all stuff that didn't exist back when I started. There's been new quality of life. We can go in and we could say rank and rarity 1 to 2-star, and we could probably click sell, and there should be a sell all button.
Where are you? Sell all button.
So sell is back beside the filter button there, the right of the middle.
Oh, sell all. Boom.
Yeah, select all, and there you go. 96 artifacts cleared away.
Nice. Do a little housekeeping.
There you go.
All right, so we kill that filter. Okay, so we have some. We want to get some attack. We have some.
Yeah. That looks good. That offense set.
Ooh, there's some crit rate too. Let's see. Okay, so do we have helmet? We have shield. We can't do another weapon. We can do shield and boots for attack.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go ahead.
And we need to find.
Oh yeah, we need to find. Okay, let's go back, and then we need to find
Yeah.
something for helm and chest.
Yes.
I don't have a crit rate helm, unfortunately.
No, we might be just mixing and matching here, but that's okay too. Oh, we've got some nice righteous. Oh, you've got some very nice righteous gear right there.
Whoa.
Oh, my. Whoa. That might have been from Call of the Arbiter or something like that.
So some
watching-
legendary righteous. Crit
Yeah.
damage, defense, attack. Let's see, attack 23, attack 5%, crit damage 5%. That's pretty nice.
Yes. Yeah. So I didn't realize you'd have this sort of stuff. Like I said, this is probably from the Call of the Arbiter promotions, right? Watching the animated series. So this gear is extremely good. You can see like this is 6-star gear. It's epic. It's legendary. So this stuff is just pretty much way better than everything that you've got so far. This stuff is very strong.
So this was so interesting. So this is legendary, but it's HP,
Yes.
defense, attack, HP, whereas this one is epic, but it's crit rate and speed.
Yeah, like that epic piece is actually significantly better. Which is just like the stats you get on the gear is always random. So that's where like farming the gear becomes important.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, like again, for her, we're looking for a lot of these stats, right? Crit rate is one of her best stats. Speed, there we go. And rolling speed. You're blessed with speed. But speed is another top tier stat for her. Pretty much for everyone, honestly. So yeah.
And let's see, what's the 8 hit us? And crit rate.
Crit
again.
rate.
Nice. Very nice.
Hey.
All right, and then let's upgrade this legendary helm. That's got double attack and crit damage. This is almost perfect. If this one had speed, it would have been completely the perfect helmet.
Yeah. Yeah, the righteous set, it gives you like bonus speed as well for 2 pieces. So it's like oftentimes you want to match like the stats with the type of set. So like for your accuracy set, it's boosting accuracy. Hey, I want accuracy on that set. For righteous, speed is like probably the best thing. Oh wow, that's a lot of attack percent right there. Hell yeah.
I think we just turned her into an absolute monster.
Yep.
So attacks one enemy, that's the 50% reduction, and we can upgrade that to that 100% you talked about.
Yeah.
Extra hit possibility. The cooldown, yeah, she's gangster. So we're just never going to use this really, but these are phenomenal. And then
the only downside with her, we like to say that this champion, she likes to read a lot. Use books, skill books to upgrade this champ. That's the only downside with Alika. She needs a lot of skill books.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
She's very literate.
Well, you know what? It's good to get in your extra time and make sure that you're covering all your bases. I don't think I can.
Right.
I don't have any scrolls, so I can't upgrade her masteries. Right? I need scrolls for that.
That's right, yeah. It might be worth with your starter champ with Galek. You could buy the first set of masteries for him. I think it's 800 gems. I'd usually recommend that. Like with my first chunk of gems from doing the missions, doing your quests, getting masteries unlocked on your starter champion is really good. Yeah, it's not too many though.
Okay. I can.
So if we click get all, yeah.
All right, so
scrolls.
let's talk about this. Where should I be going? So I have this crit rate already.
That's exactly what you want.
Where should I be going for our next? So we have Shield Breaker. We have damage inflicted when you're low on HP, and then just crit damage. Is it crit damage? Is that the way to go?
Yeah. So crit damage is going to be definitely, and oftentimes we'll combo that with Shield Breaker as well. You can get 2 on this one, but yep. So definitely that. I'd probably grab actually, let me think about this. Starting out, I'd probably go Life Drinker, actually. We'll basically go down the left-hand side of the offense tree, I think, starting out.
Let's look at these ones here. So a little kill off. Increase speed by 6 for every enemy killed by the champion. So that
can be very good.
But you said the Life Drinker, okay.
Yeah, so this is an interesting thing, right? Masteries, there's a ton of customization. I'd be saying on your starter, initially, I'd be going down all the left-hand side of the tree. That's going to give him a bit more of a general focus. He's going to be very good, still good in arena, but he's going to be very good against bosses as well. Then you could switch it up when you get a bit further in the game and you start to specialize your teams more. Galek is actually a very strong arena champion. So that's where you're like, okay, I want to focus him on PvP, and that's where you might actually be picking different masteries. To basically do more damage for PvP, but he'll be weaker against bosses. We kind of want it to be an all-arounder right now.
Sure. So what's the next? What's the next good one here? I mean,
bring it down, definitely.
Bring it down.
Right.
All right.
And then we have to level him up more. He has to be rank 5 to get that, but he's only rank 4 right now.
Okay. Well, we're in a good spot. We did some good stuff for him. And I want to rank him up, but we can't do it today.
No, that's going to take a little bit of time. That's where keep on going through the campaign, and he'll keep getting experience. You get up to level 40, and then you can rank him up to 5-star. Keeps getting stronger.
And nothing here really worth grabbing, I don't think.
I'd grab the mystery shards.
The mystery
whenever
shards.
there's
Good call.
basically every time that's in the market. Sometimes you get ancient shards as well. I think you can get 5 every month in the market, and they're always worth grabbing too.
Let's go ahead and get this little 10x. See if we can get some more food out of this. Great. Tremendous.
All right.
All right. So where to now? Do we jump back into battle? We also have our
Let's.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
How are we doing on the quests and the challenges, missions?
yeah,
That will
let's-
probably like sort of give you a guidepost of
Let's
what
look at
to
these
focus
quests.
on
We
next.
can
Oh,
claim
there
a
you
few.
go.
Yeah. Beat a campaign boss 3 times.
Yeah.
Do I need a? Can I beat the same one 3 times?
Yep. Sure can. You can pick whatever one you want.
Well, let's do the fastest campaign boss just so we can.
Yep.
Let's
sounds
speed run
good.
it. Take you out. Take you out. Put you in. Switch you, and
Let's go.
yeah. Let's just run through it as fast as we can. Thank you. Questing. This is what. So, I see that they have timers as part of it, and let's do it one more time. Let's do it again. Is speed running a thing in Raid?
Oh yeah, that's a huge thing.
Okay.
Absolutely huge. But yeah, like 100%. Like there might be a tournament on, which is like farming the dragon dungeon, for example. And it's like, oh well, if you want to do well in that tournament, which can be great ways, like part of fusions to get legendary champions every month, things like that. You want to do it as fast as possible, right?
Got it.
There's even turn attack tournaments now. They're kind of a new thing this year, which is to beat dungeons in the shortest amount of turns possible. Then there's even leaderboards, like for competing against your friends and your clanmates. So yeah, that's sort of more optional. It's just for the prestige, right? But yeah, trying to complete content with the fewest turns possible too.
Okay. Yeah, those all sound. Yeah, this seems like they would be rife for that kind of gameplay.
Oh yeah.
And speaking of that kind of gameplay, I do see we have one person have a 1 there. I think that someone then downloaded. Guys, the best way to support me doing more of these fun Mega Draft tournaments is support the sponsors, and today's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. The QR code you can download, the link in the chat you can download with, but it's an easy way to try out a totally different kind of game that maybe you haven't played very much before of. That is, as you can see, like I've had this game for a long time. I keep on picking it up and putting it down, picking it up, putting it down. It's the kind of game you can continue playing. Kind of like I like to play this when I'm chilling watching TV, right? Like it's kind of the play anywhere, play all the time kind of game. So give it a shot, give it a try. Come join me. Let's see. So now here we are. We can do more campaign, but we have dungeons, faction wars, arena, and clan bosses.
Yes. Okay. Let me see. Let's get into faction wars. Let's see. Are there any of the factions that we've got champions for up today? Faction wars is one of my favorite areas of the game. Basically, the way faction wars works is, well, you've got all the different factions in the game. Dwarf Crypt would actually be okay for us because we've got Samar, right? For faction crypt, like Dwarf Crypt, you could only use champions from the Dwarf faction. So you got to build your ultimate Dwarf team, which kind of gets you building and using a lot of champions that you might not otherwise use. So yeah, you got a few dwarfs here actually. Look at that.
So the question is, will he be able to carry with his level 37 over all these very, very weak dwarves?
Exactly, yeah. Like it's very unlikely we're going to get through with no losses. Let me say that right now. These other guys are going to fall over at a stiff breeze, but Samar should hopefully get through.
Should I try? I mean, is it worth putting a little bit of juice into those guys just so that it's a little easier?
I would say no. It's
You'd
not
say
really
no.
worth
Got it.
bothering.
Got
Yeah.
it. Okay.
That's one like a trap that's super easy to fall into. I know because I fell into it myself, right? I'm the sort of person that I'm like, oh, every champion I get, I'm like, I want to build them. I want to make them the best they could possibly be. And I totally spread myself too thin and got super stuck then for a while. It's sort of better to focus on your best champions at the start while you're leveling them up and getting through stuff. And then that's the great thing about this game. When you get further in, that's when it becomes like, okay, now I'm building up loads of different champs. And the game really opens up with like the strategies you want to use for every different area of the game. Yeah, it becomes super customizable.
Well, so far so good. Here we are in round 2, and these little tiny dwarves are doing some work. They're not dead weight entirely.
Yeah. We lost one guy along the way, but that's okay. We're getting through.
Whatever. If you take dwarves into a mine, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose one every once in a while. They're small.
Exactly.
There's lots of nooks and crannies. There's like beasts.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there we go.
Boom. Stage 1 down. So this Faction Wars gives you these glyphs, right? You used a glyph earlier today to upgrade your attack percent. So yeah, Faction Wars, you can only run it a limited number of times per day, and it's a different faction every day. So yeah, it's often really, really worth doing. And with your good factions, especially early on, trying to push up higher, it also gets you some really good gear sets that you can pretty much only get from Faction Wars.
Got it.
So yeah, in particular, like I'd say the perception set kind of combines the speed set plus the accuracy set. There are a couple of sets you already have. It sort of combines the two together. So it's an extremely good set for early game. Yeah, I'd say we get through a few stages here, I think, with Samar. He's pretty good.
When he drops that giant log on their head.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever had a log dropped on your head. I personally haven't yet. I was at a party once when I was maybe 13 years old, and someone was swinging on a swing on a tire swing, and the branch it was on broke, and the whole branch came down. And very luckily, you know how benches kind of tend to bow downward a little bit.
Yeah.
It fell, and the bow was just enough that it flexed, but didn't like crush my friend's chest. Yeah, we were very lucky there. He's still alive to this day. You know, I guess he cheated the devil once, you know?
That's right. He used up his bad luck early on.
I actually, you know, talking to near-death experiences, I was in Finland recently for our Clash Royale League World Finals. I don't know if you know, I'm a caster for Clash Royale. And
Yes,
I was getting into, it was snowy, and I was getting into the other side of our cab and just didn't see or hear a bus drove by, and it must have been 6 inches how close it was to the bus just clipping me. But you know, again, some better angel said today is not Rich's day, and here I am for you and I to do raid together.
Exactly. That's why.
All right.
It's scary. It's scary. Life is scary sometimes. Luckily, we've got video games. They're nice. They're safe.
Yeah. Where do you live?
I live in Ireland.
I've heard of it. Never been. I lived in Scotland for a while.
Oh, right, yeah.
Lived in
Just
Edinburgh.
across the pond.
Yeah, very close
Nice.
to you. And I almost got hit by a bus in Edinburgh because of you guys driving the opposite side of the road.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know, when you think about it, like, you know, when you cross the road, I always look left, then right, then left again. But I'm
Yep.
guessing that you always look right, then left, then right. And
I guess so, yeah. I've never thought about it. I just, you know, it's one of those things you just do automatically. But yeah, you're probably right.
And yeah, I looked left, then right, then left, and I stepped out, and a buddy of mine quite literally like grabbed my shirt and pulled me back out of the way of a bus. I shouldn't be near buses, is actually what we're discovering. From
That's the moral of the story for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's a bus, you need to hide, man.
It was one of those big like red double-decker touristy buses too. Would have been really embarrassing to get smushed in front of that many people who are visiting on holiday.
Yeah, no, I grew up in Dublin, so I was always used to traffic and stuff. I remember when I went to college first, it was one of the most shocking things was, you know, a lot of my friends were from all over the country. Like one of my friends, she was a real country girl, and we were just in the middle of the city center, and she just walked across the road. She's just jaywalking, and we were like, "What are you doing? You're crazy!" And she's like, "Oh no, they'll stop for you. Like that's what cars do, right?" We're like, "No, not in Dublin. They won't. You need to stop doing that immediately." Luckily, she did. She's fine. We've got our first defeat.
We took the L.
Still, hey, get through a few stages. That's pretty good. I mean, for Faction Wars, you're usually looking at, you know, building up a bigger team. That's a good start.
Okay,
It's a good start.
not bad. So we got some good loot out of it.
Yep.
We have this other faction which I don't think I can do anything in.
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Not happening, indeed. All right.
But
Well,
How are we doing on our quest there? We must did we finish off the daily quest today, or were we a little bit
use
short?
energy
Ooh.
is the only one left.
Okay.
Which I'm
Okay.
sure we'll do naturally.
Yep.
Let's see, passes. I guess I'll collect my basic rewards. There's some other really good, some good rewards here from the other tier, from the elite pass. Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Xena. What?
That's right. Yeah, it's the Xena. Yeah, right.
That is awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
I feel like that's worth getting the. I feel like that's worth getting the elite pass for. Is it hard to grind all the full pass, or is it pretty easy?
No, it's actually pretty easy to get the levels. Yeah, just by playing. Like you can click into the challenges side to see what you got to do, but it's very, very simple. It's like log into the game, use some energy every day. So it's very, very simple to get up there. It'll take a few days. There's still 6 weeks left, so loads of time.
And then some cool, some great rewards here. I feel like I should do this because it's Xena. Like, okay, I don't know what era you're from, but I'm from when I grew up, Xena was just on TV. You would change the channels and you're like, oh, Xena's there. And then you'd watch too much of that. Oh yeah, I jockster like the whole. I think I jockster the mighty. He roams through the countryside. Like that was one of her sidekicks, Gabrielle with the stick. Man, I'm having flashbacks right now.
There you go.
All right, you know what? I'm getting. Oh, the elite pass is $60.
Yeah, I'd go for just the basic one, right? So just the basic is $40. That way,
and I can still get Xena from that.
Yeah. So you get all the rewards, right? Paying the 60, it just unlocks it immediately. But you've got 6 weeks, so you're not in a huge rush. Like unless you want to get Xena today for the stream, in which case you'd have to buy the bigger one.
That's actually really tempting to get her for the stream.
It's up to you.
We already spent 50. But to get Xena right, okay. First of all, is Xena good?
Xena is very good. Yeah,
like we would pump her up and get her in the mix right now.
Yeah, so she's sort of an arena specialist. Would be, I'd say, her main area. Damage. She's big. Like her big thing is she counters buffs, basically, right? So when your enemy teams put on a whole lot of buffs, she just gets a turn immediately, and she's like, okay, I hit you harder for every buff that you have as well. So she's quite a strong damage dealer.
All right. Hey, Raid, you got me today. I'm getting Xena. I am getting... How could I not get Xena? Are you kidding me? We just straight up... And can I collect all? Or do I have to collect each thing individually?
I actually don't know. No, I think it looks like you've got to click them all.
Whatever. Give me Xena.
I'm always just collecting my stuff every single day. You know, I can't survive having one of these red dots. I must click the red dot.
The red dot, very smart to get you to click all the things. We got a bunch of really good stuff here too. We'll have to go through all of this, and we're gonna outfit the heck out of this Xena. I cannot believe that this is maybe one of the greatest integrations I've ever seen in a game.
It's super cool.
What's your?
There are a couple.
I
was just gonna say there's a couple other famous ones, but we can't show those because this is a sponsored stream, right? I think it clashes legally with the previous sponsored stuff they've done, but they do these massive crossovers every now and then. Like I'm personally holding out for my childhood favorite show, which is Scooby-Doo. I'm hoping Scooby-Doo is going to be the next thing.
That'd be great. Well, we're going Xena profile picture. Dude, we're going full. We're full. Oh, we have a portal. Oh, we have another sacred shard. That's nice. Let's go ahead and
you did get another sacred.
Let's use it. Let's see what we get.
Let's go. Epic champion. Dude, that's the champion I need right now.
Really?
Give her to me.
I just pulled your champion.
Yeah, that's the one I'm searching for at the moment.
30% chance of stealing a buff. An AoE attack that could remove all buffs from enemies. Whoa. I mean, block debuffs, I mean. Remove all buffs from enemies. Has a 50% chance of placing a debuff on all enemies for 2 turns.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she's pretty cool. The main reason I need her is she's actually part of the mythical champion. I think you probably have it unlocked if you go into the fusion tab on the right-hand side of the screen. There you go. So that's Blizzard. He's actually the current Christmas event.
Okay.
You can see it's up for another week and a half or so. But he's the Christmas fusion, so this is the legendary champion everyone can get. I'd say you need to be a little bit into the game, right? It might take you maybe about a month or two of playing before you're sort of getting comfortable enough to do fusions, right? But Lady Mikage, who's on the left down below, she is a mythical champion. Ooh. And Elysania, who you pulled, is one of the champs. So you collect Elysania. If you collect the other 3 epics down there on the bottom left, they can actually fuse into that legendary, who's pretty good. She's a dwarf, actually. She'd go well with your Samar. And yeah, you collect all these champs. You can fuse them up, and then you can fuse them up as well into Lady Mikage, who's mythical, which is super sick. It's one of the brand new types of champions. We probably should actually show her off.
Oh, yeah, let's see her. Oh, so, she looks scary. Anytime you have like a metal spider thing attached to your back, that's already creepy. And look at all the different things she has going on here.
Yeah, but click the button, the sort of flippy button.
This?
Yeah.
Okay. No, nope, I'm out.
Arachnophobia warning.
I'm out.
Oh, no. Do you have arachnophobia? I should have warned you.
I'm not afraid of I'm not super afraid of a regular spider, but that is too much. That's creepy. I'm out.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But mythical champions are like the new thing. They're obviously really tough to get. You mostly get them from the primal shards that you got. But Mikage, she is like a permanent fusion. It's just always there.
Wow.
Like these other fusions here, they're always up. So they're like sort of medium to long-term goals that every single person can work on and definitely get. Fairly accessibly, really. But yeah, mythical champions, they switch forms. They're pretty crazy, and they're all very, very strong. So yeah, they're like the hot new thing.
Are people in my clan? I'm confused. This is my clan that I just made.
That's your clan.
Where did all these people join my clan from? They're just looking to join a random clan?
Yeah, you must have left it open to anyone. I'm actually not a clan leader, so I'm not sure how to turn it off.
That's crazy.
You're full, dude. You've got 30 members.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, it's not invite only. Okay.
There you go.
Firepower, anything. All right. Hey, well, I have a full clan. Awesome. Hey, if you want to join my clan, DM me, and I will kick people out to make room for you for the real ones. But my word. All right. So let's go and get Xena juiced up. All right. So
I think we got some decent gear from her from the elite pass we got as well. So
let's see that.
Let's scroll down. I think it was cruel. Yeah, there you go. Cruel gear. Go up a little bit.
Oh, cruel.
Yes.
There we go. Just put all this on her, or only some of it? 2 artifacts. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'd say we probably slap it all on, just all 6 pieces. Cruel's pretty strong. It's one of the stronger attacking sets. Yeah, because it gives you that 15% attack, but also ignoring defense. We mentioned ignore defense earlier. It's one of the strongest effects in the game, right? Defense, it gives you a lot of damage reduction, like a heck of a lot. So ignoring it is insanely powerful for basically any damage dealer. So yeah, Cruel's pretty good. So here we'd be hoping for crit rate would be the ideal thing.
Yeah, HP. Again. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so Xena's interesting, right? When we looked at Alika, with her, we were talking about, speed being really important. Because of Xena's unique passive, you could actually build her pretty low on speed and use her passive in Arena to kind of just cut in and take those free turns. So for her, it's definitely crit rate, attack percent, crit damage. It's just pure glass cannon. We can even be pretty slow. We just want to hit as hard as humanly possible. And she's a very, very strong damage dealer for that AoE. So
defense, crit rate. We got crit rate on that one. That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited to get her into the arena. we're gonna load her up. We're gonna feed the heck out of her. We're gonna take her out for a spin. I feel like I've got a Ferrari in the garage, and we're just polishing it up right now.
We're gonna throw some chakrams at people. Hit them with the whip.
Oh, that's so
Xena
exciting!
That's speed. Excellent. Yeah.
Wow.
That's good.
Oh yeah, chakrams all day. Does she make the Xena sound when she attaches? She go like, oh, does she do the, you know what I mean?
You know what? I play with sound off, so I actually don't know.
I want to know.
We can find out.
My favorite thing about the chakram is that Xena would just like walk into a room and look around like for a second and go, cool. And then throw it. It would bounce off 8 things, hit all people at once, and then also like cut the belt on some guy's pants, and his pants would fall down and he'd be like, oh no, I'm embarrassed. and then she'd catch it. Like,
Yeah. She totally does that in this game as well. Like, yeah, you chop the pants off champions, it falls down. It's
what a boss. What a boss.
Not safe for work stream now when we go to arena. I'm only joking.
Well, they'd be in their underwear. It was a cable television show. We weren't on HBO.
Yeah.
Let's see. I need to get these boots upgraded. And then I feel like our team just took an insane level up. Am I wrong? That we are
No,
now-
you're super right. Yeah, no, Xena's very good, so you're looking good. I will say as well, the next big level up, which might be interesting for people watching, I believe Raid is coming to Steam in January. I think I've seen
cool.
that. I'm expecting there's going to be like a free login legendary. So like they're often, let me be honest, really overpowered. They do them every few months or so to promote the game. I think the next one is probably January. I'm just guessing, but I think it could be January, and that's likely to be very good as well. So that's something for people to keep an eye on.
Which one of
we
these
didn't get.
rings?
So they're all different types, right? One is a ring, one's a neck, and one is a banner. Unfortunately, we didn't get particularly good ones here, but I mean, they're still 6-star legendary, so they'll still be okay,
Go ahead and put
right?
it on.
Absolutely, yeah. Like the perfect ring for Xena would preferably be attack. It doesn't have attack as the main stat, but we've got attack as a substat and attack percent, and 7% is a high roll as well. So
like gave me
it's
a HP.
yeah. There is the ability to re-roll gear, but again, I don't think that's something you're going to unlock like near the start of the game. Defense percent, it's not too bad.
All
Preferably,
right.
we've been getting all the attack, but hey.
And then we got some glyphs here.
You've got a big attack percent and a big speed glyph right there. So they're 5-star. We'd want to pick some good gear. So maybe I think your shield is pretty good for speed, right? That's a double speed shield. That's already actually a very good shield in Cruel.
Now I go here and I enchant it.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then we throw that speed on there.
Yeah. There we go. 2. Not too bad.
All right.
And for the attack percent, let's see, maybe her weapon, perhaps? No, not the weapon. No, maybe the headpiece? No, unfortunately not. The ring would be the only option. I'd say put it on the ring. That had attack percent. So, yeah, you can throw attack percent on that.
Let's do it. Plus
4,
4%.
hey.
Nice.
There we go.
Okay.
All right.
And now we got to level her up. Send her
Yes.
to the tavern.
Uh-huh.
And I already used... Oh, wait. I can use these, right?
Yeah, we got some more.
Max those
Mhm.
out.
Yep.
And she's level 35.
Yes. You actually got a barrel, I think, from that elite pass as well. Now, I would save that, but that will fully level up a given champion. You would want to save that for a 6-star champion, right?
Wait,
But
can
that was...
I ascend her?
Yes, you can.
And we should
You
do
absolutely can. Yes, absolutely. There you go. You're actually completing some of your challenges as
Oh,
well.
perfect.
Not too bad.
that. Wait.
Oh, we can ascend her some more.
All right, let's just
Yeah.
make her insane. And we can do it again.
Ooh, we're missing one big
Oh.
red potion. So, yeah, you have to earn that from the dungeons.
All right, well, we can get that.
mhm.
And then I can't level her up. 35's max?
No, she can go all the way up to 50. You just ran out of the brews, so we can feed some more champs into her if you wanted. Like any of the uncommon or common, like the green or gray border champs, they're pretty much totally fine to. Oh, we've switched champion actually.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, we're still in the Ascension tab on the right hand side.
Oh, that's
where
right.
I went wrong.
That's why. All right, and then now we'll go back and we'll go into the tavern.
There we go.
and Let's just throw a bunch of these nonsense people at her.
Yeah.
Upgrade you.
Yeah, each level gets harder, so I doubt we'll get the full way up to 50, but we'll make a start.
Oh, that one has some fuse ability, so we'll not use the ones that confuse. Oh, I'll
Yeah,
keep
it's
that
probably worth
I'll
holding
keep
on
that-
to
I'll
those.
keep that dwarf.
Because
Because we're still trying to maybe mess with that a little bit, and only up to yeah, you're right. It does get a lot harder here.
Yeah.
Level 37. That seems like that's pretty strong.
Yep. Let's go for it.
What's this chicken?
So for upgrading champion ranks, you can use 5-star champions, the chicken just substitutes in. So that's like a free 5-star champion. You're going to need 5 champs to give to her, or 5 chickens, or you can mix and match. So the chicken's going to make it easier to get her up to level 60. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so we got her juiced up. She's ready to rock.
Yep.
And Galek is killing it. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, we have some. Wait, we're not going to do those other masteries right now. So is this our squad? Like Xena, Samar, Alika, and Galek?
Yeah. This is our squad for now. It's like almost. It's a very one-sided squad. We almost effectively have 3 damage dealers, which is totally fine right now. Eventually, of course, you'll refine this. Xena is probably like your best champ, but what you'd be looking to put on top of that would be usually someone to boost your speed, right? Or someone to crowd control, to stun the enemy team, to lock them out of their turn, so that you can then slam them with the damage on their vulnerable, stuff like that, right? So looking for support champs now. You've got an insanely stacked account with damage. If you like damage, you like these champions.
If you like damage, like that. All right. So where are we? Are we going to the arena? Or are we going to some dungeons? Where are we headed?
Let's do arena. We got to do arena with Xena. Come on,
Xena,
it's got to be
the Xena arena. All right. And who can stand against the might of my team? All right, 31,000.
Is it revenge?
You think I'm not coming for you? Now with my 28K?
Okay. The scales have been evened a good bit.
Quite a bit. I have no...
Yeah.
All right. Oh, hey, that hurt. Oh, wait, this got leveled up a bunch, though. This is level
I would still open with his A2 first. So we eliminate a couple of them, and then when there's fewer of them, we can sort of focus fire, as it were, with that random hitter.
Sure, that makes sense. All right. And then we're going to
This is your choice.
Ooh. 75% increasing cooldowns on enemy's skills. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Increase some cooldown. Nice. And then now Xena. Chakram time. Let's go. Steals 20% of turn meter from each enemy. Oh, that's great. Yeah. You guys eat it. Eat it, nerds. Oh, man. What would it be like if you survived that? We won't know because you got murdered.
Yep. Hey, that's cool to see some progress right there, huh?
Right?
We fought them earlier in the stream. It was a tough fight. And there you go. The work has paid off.
That was
all that gearing. Whew.
Decimation. That was that was embarrassing. They should probably quit. That's what I'm saying. That was so embarrassing. Oh my word. Oh my word. I mean, the rest of you were all kneel before my might. This is like the evil Xena era, where I don't know if you watched any of that either, but where Xena would get like taken over by some evil force and then hate everything and kill all the people.
You want to know something sad? I was not allowed to watch Xena when I was a kid, so
What?
I've never actually seen it. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, that's you should. It's worth a watch now.
Yeah. I had very, very strict parents growing up.
Oh man,
it was a childhood. So yeah, Xena was banned.
And now
which is one of the funniest things.
Now you make content for a game that has got demons and devils and all the worst stuff in it.
That's right. Yep. I'll see my parents at Christmas and be like, guess what champion was added to the game, guys? They'll be like, I don't believe it.
I don't think this is the right move, but I want to use it because I want to see her Whip of Destiny. Oh, that did smack you right in the face. That was more insult than injury, but that's okay. And then we drop a log on your head, and then we will just go ahead. We'll just hit you in the face real quick. Bye bye. Man, Xena is great. Shamsul saying I missed the Mega Draft back. It is still available. You can rewind the stream or you can watch it video on demand. It's still going to be up. We are now in the portion from our great sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends, who provided the opportunity for us to do today's stream. So if you want to support this event, Shamsul, so that we have opportunity to do more of like this one in the future, go ahead and use the QR code in the left corner or the link in the chat and download Raid Shadow Legends, because they've been wonderful enough to support this cool like grassroots esports initiative by giving us this opportunity. So please go ahead and check it out.
Do you want to jump back to the Bastion? Let's try a promo code. I want to try it because I got reminded of it because we just fought an insane champion there in the arena, which was Sun Wukong. So we go on the left-hand side of the screen. There's a menu bar that pops out there. We got promo codes. Okay, I think it's Monkey King, all one word. Hopefully this works.
King. Let's see.
Is it active?
Only valid for new players. Well, you could use it. You watching at home, you could use it.
Yeah, so for any new players, I'm not sure what exactly qualifies, but obviously if you install the game with the link down below, you can do it. That actually gives you Sun Wukong, the legendary champ we just fought in the arena. He was one of the free login champions, and he's top tier. Like, I'm not even kidding. He's the main nuker on my account. He's my main damage dealer.
Okay.
Like, he's insanely strong. So that's super worth using.
Ooh,
yeah, you look.
Oh, I did an Ascension. Go ahead and grab that. Cool.
Yes. But yeah, these challenges, they're just like one-off challenges. They give you some great rewards, like skill bucks for upgrading your champs, and they sort of teach you how to play the game as well. So yeah, doing those, or then you've got the missions as well that are worth doing. Down the bottom left-hand side is the missions.
On the missions, bottom left.
Oh, you're going to click your red dot, see all the champions today.
The red dots pull me in, dude.
Yeah, it does.
Clear stage 1 of or higher of the Arcane Keep.
Yeah. Let's give it a go. I see you've actually completed the next mission, so this one should be pretty straightforward.
All right. Well, let's go ahead. Xena increases ally attack by an arena battle. So I should have put her in the leader spot during the arenas.
Yeah, we should have actually, yeah.
And
Let's
then
do I want damage?
Do I want him or do I want her for a little bit of like support?
I think that for these lower levels, I just go pure damage.
Just blow it out the water. All right, let's go.
Yeah. I'd start off that way. And then, when you start getting to the harder levels, that's when you're going to need to make a more well-rounded team, right? But for now, we're just going pure damage and just overpowering these guys.
That guy is far too tall. What's the air like up there, bud? Toe Fungus, when's the next CRL monthly finals? It will be in 2024 because the Clash Royale League season for 23 is over. We just had our World Finals. Okay, so I do next, or did we...
I think that's the mission complete. There it is.
Complete. There we go.
Bang.
There we go. Let's go back to the missions. Give me a mission. Here we go. Mission complete. Collected.
Yeah, but there's really good rewards for all the missions. Like, one of the big rewards, you can see you get a couple of legendary champions at the bottom, and they're like really strong arena-specific champions. So, like, Arbiter right there, yeah, she's absolutely top tier. Now, that's the support that we want, right?
Okay.
This is the support.
She's cool. She's cool looking. So, by doing these missions, that's how I go and unlock her.
Exactly.
Got it. So I guess I should upgrade someone's skill. I don't have any tomes. Oh, I can't upgrade anyone's skills.
You've got one. You're good. We can upgrade Galek. I think we just got a tome from that mission, actually.
Oh, nice. What did we get? All right. Could have been worse. No, it couldn't have. That was actually the worst it could have been, right?
It is, yeah.
Let's go to the missions, collect, and great. Get a referral link. Like to open and grab your personal link and invite your friends to play raid. Well, I have a get referral link.
Yeah,
great.
This is what normal people would use. You've got your special content creator one though.
Fight in the classic arena 3 times. Oh well.
Oh, there you go.
This we know we can do.
Exactly. Yeah, there, I saw that. Yeah, for people that install, I think with your QR code, like they get a bunch of extra rewards that you wouldn't normally get. So it's really worthwhile. Like if you want to check out the game, definitely do that. And remember that Monkey King promo code as well. I told you guys about. But yeah, I think they get some free champions. I think when they hit level 12, they get a really good champion. So yeah, it's well worth doing.
Yeah, they get the epic Drake. I don't even have to actually try with this one now because my team is so strong. Bot, you got Zenith in the face, bro. You got Zenith directly in the face, which I certainly enjoyed watching. Yeah, you get a special starter pack with an epic champion Drake, all just by using my download link to try the game out. And that's it. You guys just got murked so hard. So hard! And that should be enough to complete that mission, right? Did we complete it? There we go. Mission complete.
Boom.
Unlock it. We've already unlocked a mastery.
Oh yeah, so because we haven't been quite doing it in order, we'll have to do. But it should be fine. I think we should have some scrolls for somebody. Let's see. Not her. Oh, Samar looks like. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Samar's got some scrolls. Let's give him some crit rate. Why not?
Crit rate. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. That works.
There you go.
Clear, and then dungeons. Clear stage 1 or higher, the Minotaur's Labyrinth 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
The Minotaur's Labyrinth. So we haven't done any dungeons yet.
We did one for the
that's right.
potions, which is the Arcane Keep. But yeah, like there's tons of dungeons in this game. The Minotaur, this is what you run to get the scrolls for masteries. It does take a good while. That's why I recommend using those 800 gems to upgrade your starter champion to get their masteries in.
Got it.
Because you can even get to the point where you could you might as well run it and see it. Let's see this Minotaur. But yeah, it sort of randomly distributes the scrolls amongst the champions you're using. So maybe instead of running 5 champions at once and sort of doing all of them at the same time slowly, be like, I'll put in my starter who's got his masteries already, so he can't get any scrolls because we bought them with our gems. And then I put in one champion and all of the scrolls get funneled into them. So just sort of, it gets you like a champion fully mastered much faster by doing them one by one. Lose that a little bit of experience, but it's probably worth it overall, right?
Okay. All right, yeah, so I see she gets 3 scrolls. Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Not enough for us to do anything with her, though. But let's go back to our... Oh, daily quest complete. Use 50 energy. That's nice.
Hey, there we go.
Complete all dailies. Get some gems. Let's go. Oh, and clear that another time. Oh, yeah, let's do it twice. So I know that there's like some special events happening right now that are in the game. Do you have one that you really love that we could check out?
Oh, I don't know if you have access to it on a new account, but the Cursed City is like the new content. That's really big. And again, that's big on the manual play. So I think you might have to be level 52 to get into it. So it does take a little while, but that's super cool. Definitely worth pointing out. But yeah, I'd say, I think for like brand new players, it's that Raid Xmas stuff, I think, that you've got here, which is like sort of new players only. That's sort of the thing for them. Like the Cursed City on this menu right there would be on the battle menu, is like off on the right hand side. Oh, you've got a few completed here.
Oh, nice. Win one of each type of life artifact from the clearing Karok Castle. So let's go back into here. The Cursed City, you said. Where are
so if we go back one page, and then you scroll over to the right hand side. There you go.
Oh, I don't know. Level 52. That's much
right.
further away than I am.
Yes, yeah, but that's like the new content that's literally just come out, and like pretty much all of us in the community basically are absolutely loving it. It's like one of the most hype pieces of content they've ever dropped. So yeah, I've been having a great time playing that. It's very, very difficult to the end of it, though. I can tell you that right now.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah.
End game content's always the hard stuff.
Exactly.
Well, let's see. I don't know where to like. There's so many things to do. It's almost overwhelming as kind of a newer player, where you're like, "What? Is the? Oh, let's watch the trailer for this thing because you've seen this."
Yes.
The Call of
yeah.
Arbiter. Let's go ahead and put the trailer on.
Yeah, you get it's a cool animation. You also get rewards for watching it as well, which is cool.
Here we go.
Because it was her.
This is a whole show based around the game.
Yeah.
Dude, this is cool.
It seems you have a higher calling.
Okay,
So you learn how to pronounce their names properly.
That's good. And also, hey guys, voice actor here. Next season 2. I can voice the funny characters. Will you answer the call? This is actually dope, and it's on YouTube, so anybody can watch it.
Yep.
That's actually pretty fire. I'm gonna have to check that out. That's actually pretty sick. Can't believe it. Oh, and I got silver for watching the trailer. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So there's nice rewards for like, I think every episode will give you a little something. So yeah.
There we
Definitely
go.
worth checking out. Definitely worth checking out.
Yeah.
But yes, it's cool. My favorite Skelek. He's my starter. He's your starter. He's our boy.
Yeah. And then, okay, so here we have some of these holiday events. The Yuletide Titan event, Artifact Enhancement event, Dungeon Divers, Champion.
Yeah, so the Titan event is pretty special. It's coming up to the end of it now, but that's been running for, I think, all of December. It's sort of like the big, Yuletide Christmas event, right? And there's like a whole bunch of different rewards. So it's like been tying into events and tournaments that have been running for the whole month. And ultimately, if you do every single thing, like you can see, you start to get some really good stuff at the end. Yeah,
Those are
but the final reward is a Void Legendary Champion, and Void Legendaries are the best legendaries. So it's Tormund the Cold, which is pretty cool. He's a dwarf. Is your favorite faction?
There we go.
It's too late. But
Have you seen the dwarf metal that band Winrose?
No, I haven't.
They're huge on like Instagram and TikTok, but there's a band that does dwarf metal. They all come out dressed as dwarves, and all of their songs are like dwarf themed, like down in the mines where we dig for the gold. It's out of control. So if they ever come to Austin, Texas, I'm 100% going to see them. 100%. So how does someone participate in these? Like how to compete specially labeled events and tournaments to earn snow points?
Yeah, so I'll say that to complete this one is not going to be possible at this stage, right? You're too late. There's only 5 days left. But yeah, basically doing any of the events. I did see some of the events had the old red dot on them, so you probably have done some of them already. But
that's nice.
Yeah, like Artifact Enhancement is like upgrading your gear, Dungeon Divers, running the dungeons, that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's typically tying into all these sorts of events over the course of the month. Yeah, just basically by playing the game.
Oh, cool.
To unlock this stuff. Yeah, kind of just for free, right?
Yeah, just it's alongside what you're already doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right.
So there's typically a fusion every month, right? For a legendary champion, there's special events like this. So they sort of like guide you through, I guess, like the things to focus on like any given day or week. Is sort of, focusing on the events is the thing to do.
And it looks like I'm trying to see which faction I have the most. I have a lot of dark elves, a lot of orcs, a decent number of orcs here.
Yes.
All right. And then I have a bunch of Sacred Order, which I didn't realize. I guess.
Looks like they're all low quality ones.
All my low. Get out of here, Sacred Order nerds. But do I have any? Oh, but barbarians led by Xena. God,
yeah, you've got a couple of strong barbarians there.
Got Xena. Oh yeah, Alika. Wow, yeah, this is like one of my best areas.
Yeah, one to watch out for. She's one of the most scantily clad in the game. She's a rare champion called War Maiden. You can actually get her from the campaign, but she's extremely good. She's like the start. Yeah, right.
This is.
Yep. Yep. But she is genuinely really good, right? She puts decreased defense, which makes your champs hit
What's
harder.
What's with the barbarians?
So.
The barbarians. Okay, do the guy barbarians also? Okay, so at least the guys are also like generally underdressed as well. There's some equity in here. My word.
Not big on clothes.
Yeah, barbarians are out of control. Well, I guess that's fitting for like what you think of what a barbarian would be like. But
yeah,
that's hilarious. Okay, at least she's wearing something good for war. Yeah, like how are you supposed to fight? You're fighting with swords. You know what I mean? Like
that's true.
That's just it's irresponsible to go to war like that.
She has 700 base defense, which is incredibly squishy. So it's she's paying for it with those stats. Let's put it like that.
Fair enough. Well, what a faction. All right. Well, what should we? You've been hanging out with me for a long time, and I really appreciate you coming and showing me so much. I've learned so much that I did not understand at all about this game before. What should we do to? Oh, don't refill that yet. Don't refill that yet. Okay, so I refill those. Fill that later. What should we do for our last thing here today on the stream?
Ooh,
what's something we haven't done?
Thing? I think we've touched on most of them. We could take on one of the dungeons, the dungeon bosses that drop gear. We haven't done that before. We've done like some of the more dungeons for powering up your champions. If we go to the right, these dungeons on the right-hand side, these are all the gear-focused dungeons. So, like,
Okay.
Dragon's Lair would be your sort of typical starting dungeon. I think you fight the dragon, right, in the intro cutscene. You've actually beaten a few stages already. We could try out stage 6,
All right.
see how we do.
Well, especially now that I'm so much better than I was before.
Yeah, exactly. Should be able to push further.
Do you think I should just throw in all my heaters here?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, heaters.
I think so. I could see why you got stuck here before, because Galek is magic affinity, but this dungeon is force affinity. So he's going to do less damage, take more. But we got Xena now. I think Xena should do the job for us.
I mean, she's doing okay. She's,
yeah.
Oh, yes, I remember this fight. I have lost this fight many times against this giant dragon.
And this is the easiest dungeon. So you can imagine what some of them are going to be like.
Oh, I imagine. And on these bosses, do you usually still auto battle, or do you usually take control because you want a little bit more precision?
So most of the time for the dungeons, you want to be doing them on auto. The one exception would be for like your missions, your challenges, right? It might be defeat stage 20 of Dragon. And you might need to do that a few times, right, to unlock Arbiter, something like that. And that might be too difficult for you, so you might need to do that on manual. But like generally, the dungeons are things that you're looking to run on auto. That's the goal. Yeah.
Let's see if we can clear this now.
I'd say you should be able to get through a few more levels, honestly, with the upgrades you've got on the team.
Getting Xena is just so out of control.
Yeah.
That's very cool. And she fits in the world, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's sick. I still believe in Scooby-Doo. I think he doesn't fit at all, but it would be magical.
I like that. Scooby be dope.
Yeah, Barney the dinosaur, he'd be all right as well.
I mean, they might as well just go get the Kevin Sorbo Hercules in here as well, since they're doing.
I'd be down.
Since they're doing Xena already, do you know that she was a spin-off character from Hercules? I know way too much about this franchise, by the way.
Wow, no, I didn't know that.
So,
I knew he was in her show, but
yeah,
wow.
so because the original show was Hercules: The Legendary Journeys with Kevin Sorbo playing Hercules,
Yeah.
and she was like a warlord who he like convinced to not be evil anymore. So which is why a bunch of the themes of her show is redemption and like her encountering people that she like warlorded and then being like, oops, sorry, I'm better now though. And then having emotional distress over it. So yeah, she was a spinoff that was arguably a much better show and more like ran longer. Yeah, she's great.
Gotcha. One thing we can see, like the next time we finish the stage, right, is sort of like the big jumps in difficulty and the ones to farm, or when the quality of the gear goes up. So I think in a couple of stages' time, it changes from dropping 3 to 5-star gear to 4 to 5-star. So that's making the gear quality like significantly better. Like you're really trying to get up to, I'd say certainly 5-star gear is sort of like the big goal here. Like if we can manage to get up to that point and consistently get it, then we can start upgrading our champs in 5-star gear, and that's what's going to start unlocking all these other areas and letting you push further.
Got it. So here's another fun fact about the Xena Hercules universe. There's an actor who played multiple roles in the Xena Hercules universe, including he played Ares, but he also played I want to say Hermes too. Like he played multiple, and he also played Julius Caesar. Like he played a ton of he played a ton of different roles, and now he is much better known for being Billy Butcher on The Boys or Dr. McCoy on the modern Star Trek shows, because that's Carl Urban. Who?
Yeah, no way.
Yeah, because all of those, the Xena and Hercules, much like all the sword and sorcery stuff, like Lord of the Rings, things like that, they're all produced in New Zealand because A, it's picturesque, but B, once New Zealand had done a bunch of sword and sorcery stuff, that has had extra gear. So whenever you see people like in sandals carrying swords and shields, it's filmed in New Zealand so often because they just recycle that gear, like, repaint it, redecorate it, or whatever. For like, so the same sword that you saw in Lord of the Rings was definitely in Xena at some point. And Carl Urban, who's an Aussie actor, got some of his big first roles. He played like Julius Caesar. He played Cupid. he played. He didn't play Ares. He played Julius Caesar, Cupid, and like two or three other roles. Because that was like what local actors did during that
Yeah.
time. And then he
Yeah.
was Éomer in Lord of the Rings because it was also.
I was
done
gonna say, yeah, yeah,
I know way too much about that.
yeah.
Yeah, Carl Urban, longtime fan.
You've been sitting on all these Xena facts for ages, and then hey, he's wandered in today, and Xena showed up, and
Honestly,
you're like, yes,
never
my time
thought
to
I'd
shine.
have the opportunity. If there's anything that Raid has brought me today, it's the opportunity to like do a deep dive on Carl Urban's career and in the Xena universe, the Xenoverse. All right, so you're gonna go do some 5-star gear stuff. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I was actually going to say we're very close to failing on that dragon stage, so that's
Oh.
where it's like, yeah, getting back and getting through the campaign. I'd say like probably the big thing on this account right now is definitely focusing on like your missions,
Got it.
quests, just getting that stuff done, getting through it. Like that will sort of guide you through each of the core areas for early game and like what you need to be doing to progress. Yeah, it's just like keep on leveling up your champs in campaign. Think you've got a good handle on like how the gear stuff works just from this. So
I've learned so much.
yeah.
I've learned so much about it. Well, dude, thank you so much for coming on and being a part of this. This has been like, I think that I've like played, as you say, like I've had an account for a while. I've played off and on, but there's gonna be a lot more on now after, especially because I have Xena. Like, you guys let me take the QR code off for a second. It's supposed to be up there the whole time. I think we can turn it off for a second because my avatar is now Xena. Come on. Like, I'm in. I'm gonna be playing a whole bunch, and I'm really excited. Where can the people who want to learn more about Raid Shadow Legends find you?
Sure, yeah. I'm on YouTube. Nubraids on YouTube. Yeah, I don't know. I just cover Raid Shadow Legends. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I think I've been doing it for like 2 years now. So yeah, you can find me there. There should be tons of different content on all sorts of different areas of the game: early game, mid game, late game.
Oh, very
Most of the things you need to know. I hope if I've done my job well, you can watch and let me know in the comment section if I suck.
Well,
Yeah,
clearly you're pretty phenomenal, and I really appreciate you coming on. And for all of you who watched at home, one more time, it's in the description below. It's in the QR code on screen. If you want to support the smaller tournaments that I do that are outside of CRL, some of these grassroots esports stuff, supporting the sponsors who make that possible is the best way to do it. So go ahead, download Raid Shadow. As you've seen, we've had a lot of fun today playing around with this game. It's really so much fun to kind of like change pace from what I normally do to do something like this one. And you can join my clan. It's let me put my clan up there one more time. I think like I said before, we got full somehow, which is because I left it open. But
the most popular clan in the game right now.
Most popular clan in the game currently. We are 30 for 30, but I bet you can make us 31 for 30. But that's it for today's stream, everybody. It's been a whole lot of fun, and I hope that you check it out and come back soon for more of our phenomenal Clash Royale esports. For everybody who participated today, Jules for the CR part, all the players, congrats one more time to Sandbox on his victory. Thanks one more time for Nub here for coming out. Check him out on YouTube at Nubraids. And this has been a blast. I'm Rich Slate, and I will see you next time on the most fun place for Clash Royale esports and now for Raid Shadow Legends right here on this channel. As always, be excellent to each other and party on, dude. Peace. And